Greetings. Welcome to Beyond Magog, the magical show where I, Jeremy, speak with you, the fans. What's up, everybody? Fun day, fun week. Oh, lots of crazy shit going on. Let's see who's in my chat real quick. Tatiana's here, and Cult of Lich, and I Fear Guests. Thexor the Bearded. Greetings. Casey Beardman. The Beardman's here, and he finally made it. Talk to my fans, not turn on my fans. What's going on, everybody? Wasteland Viking, how you feeling, man? Yeah, you recovering well, I hope? See. Clear my throat a little. I had some interesting developments this week, so I thought I'd come on and say hi and see what's up and let you guys know what's been going on. If you paid attention on Twitter, I kind of upgraded my car. I needed a new one. Not really, but I had a 2013 Ford Fusion, and I took it in to get some work done. And then all of a sudden it was like, those are the 2018s. You know? So, and luckily I was able to get it for about where I was comfortable monthly. It's a little higher than my original, you know, because I didn't have a lot of equity in the 2013, but it was enough to make me happy, you know? I got me a little super chat. Thank you, Tatiana. Is that Tatiana? Yep. Tatiana Whitaker says, love the new ride. Thank you so much. Yeah, I love it too, man. It's got all the bells and whistles. It's got like a LCD screen in it that allows me like a touch screen so I can control everything. And I got like Bluetooth hookup and a fucking rear camera for reversing, which I don't think I'll be using much. Because, like, I'm not used to looking down at my dash when reversing, okay? Like, I'm used to looking at my mirrors. I was trained to drive trucks, so I do the mirrors. And that's just, you know, but, you know, it's kind of fun. Beard Bearing's here. What's up, Beardy? What you up to today? It's crazy when I upgraded from a 14 to 17. So many new toys. Just need a HUD. Yeah, Rev, you got that right. And it's a smooth ride, too. It's got those new tires on it that have, like, nitro instead of air. And they're, like, sleek black rims with a nice charcoal paint job. So, yeah, I needed a new vehicle, and I planned on trading up anyway. But what happened was I took my car in to get some work done because I had the little lights coming on, the idiot lights, you know, my wrench. And I don't dare work on newer cars. Like, I know how to work on cars. I know how to do a lot of things. But these new cars are like way too many computer systems and wiring and all kinds of stuff like that, you know. So fuck that. I'd take it into the people. And that's just how they build them these days. I ain't touching that fucking thing. Except for minor cosmetic things. Like, I'll change the air filter out myself. I'll do the oil myself. I'll change a battery out if it goes bad. But other than that, I take it in. Wasteland Viking, congrats on the new chariot. Yes. Wenches love the chariot. So the beard is strong with this stream. Yes, indeed. So anyway, so I updated because, like, I plan on trading in anyway, but I was holding off on trading it in because I didn't want my credit to take a hit because I was trying to line up a loan. But we all know that fell through because I wanted a loan to buy land and a house and expand the show. And we knew that fell through. But that's another thing I'm kind of updating you guys on. Turns out I may have found a way around that. And the short version is because of my failure to get a loan, because the loan agencies that I applied for didn't feel like I've had a long enough history of making a good amount of money. And they're also kind of iffy about giving loans to people who are self-employed through the internet, who make money on the internet. Like, it's just not seen as like a viable, reliable source of income these days. Like, that hasn't been accepted by the mainstream yet. So I basically got screwed out of being able to get a place this year. Um, until I went and talked to my parents, and they believe in what I'm doing, and they've seen what I've accomplished, and they know I'm good for it. So the short version is they're going to buy a property, and I'm just going to buy it from them monthly. Like I'm going to rent it from them until I own it. So thanks to my wonderful family, they're going to, we're back to looking at properties, even though I thought that was done, that I was going to end up in this apartment for another year. My family are really confident in what I plan on doing. And they're really supporting me and everything. And I don't want that necessarily to be, any reflection on, on what I'm trying to do. I don't want anybody to think that my parents are trying to kind of control what I'm doing by giving me the property, but then be able to tell me what I'm doing. No, they want me to do the show how I want to do it. They believe in me, and they're giving me a chance. So I'll hope I succeed, So, it might not be as big as what I was going for, because I still have to shop within a certain price range. It's not like my parents are super rich. They have good credit. They can get the loan. But I'm not going to be able to find a $300,000, bit of land in a house. So I still have to shop within like the 120 range. But I can still, here in Arkansas, get a lot of land and a house for 120 if I buy the right place. So I've got my eye on a couple other prospects ever since that place in El Paso, Arkansas, that I wanted sold. The place with 20 acres that I told you guys about, and so that place sold. Couldn't jump on it, so I'm off to the next. And there's a couple places. There's another one I'm looking at that seems like a really nice little place. It's got 10 acres. A nice little house on it for like 117, and it's in an area that actually has internet, so that's already a plus, compared to the last one. So I just wanted to kind of update you guys on the development, and then possibly brainstorm with you guys a little bit, since we didn't get a chance to last time, because me and Antoine ended up just telling stories, which was fun. I'm sure everybody enjoyed that, watched the fucking owl story. I've never heard the end of it so far. Prospero58 gives blessings on your parental units. Thank you so much. And Charles Fowler say, Mom and Dad Magog rock. Yes, they do. I love my family. Oh, welcome to the show. Des is in the chat. Hey, Des. T-Rex, what's going on? Brad Young's in the chat. I'm glad to see you all coming by and having a little fun. And Friday nights is probably going to be when I do these out of character things from now on. Throughout the rest of the week and the weekend, if there's going to be any shows on this, unless it's something really important, it's going to be in character. So I figured I'm going to block out Friday nights for my Beyond Magog streams, because I do like to sometimes be myself and just hang out with you guys and maybe get a guest on, or, get some patrons on, or whatever, But I'm still deciding on what show I want to bring the patrons on. And I don't know if I should bring patrons on the show where I'm out of character, or if I should have them on Tavern Talks when we get that started. I think that'll be really fun, because I'll be in character, and that's what a lot of people want to see. They want to talk to the character. They want to talk to Magog and Beardy. And Tavern Talk seems like the perfect platform for that, because even though it's in character, it's also kind of just a bullshit stream, like getting drunk and having a good time. It's not as formulaic as SideQuest is. Buzz of the Hive is in the chat. Hey, Magog, just stopping by before I head out to work. We'll have a good time at work. Call me Oz. Can you make the... moved out of the way. Sorry. What did it say? You can make the village out of tiny houses. That's essentially the plan. I mean, we're going to be building it from the ground up, but it's basically, they're going to be cabins, essentially. I mean, it's going to be medieval looking. So, how is the soul-sucking pit of despair known as school going? It's horrible as usual. I caught a break in homework tonight, like I normally do on Friday nights, and it's not because I don't have homework. It's because it's Friday night. Nothing's due tomorrow directly, so I try to relax a little bit on my Friday nights so that I can get to work on the weekends and either do homework or do a show, do an episode, or do both. Tomorrow, I'm basically going to try and get a Magog episode done as well as a Poe. If I can't, y'all at least get Midnight Drury this weekend. I was real busy last weekend. It was almost impossible. But this weekend, y'all are going to get something on the main channel. And then after that, I've got homework all day Sunday. So I've got to get something done tomorrow for the channel because otherwise it's not going to get done. And that's just the way it's going to be for the next 2 months, guys. So just hang in there. You'll get more Magog and more Poe as soon as I'm out of school. Like, it's just killing me right now, the amount of fucking work. I've got to do like a fake magazine cover for my intro to graphics design class. I've got a whole new photography assignment due because we just finished the last one and I had critiques this week. I've got to do an entire 3-page comic book for my sequential media class. Wasteland Viking asks if I'm going to have a P.O. box. Yes, that is happening. The problem is, the reason I haven't got one up until now is because I plan on moving. And I hate to get a P.O. box in the town that I'm in, and then turns out the property I end up buying might be in a whole other town. And I don't want to go through all of that stuff and have y'all send things to P.O. boxes. Plus, if I get a P.O. box now and fans start sending me stuff, I'm going to have a lot more stuff to move and to pack up. So it's not going to happen anytime soon. But it will happen as soon as I'm in my new place, whatever place that may be. Like I said, still shopping right now. I've got a line on a house I'd like to go take a look at this weekend if I can block out a couple hours on Sunday to drive up there and have a look at the property. But now that I have a way of getting a place without actually getting the loan, because that's not going to happen because my family is being so generous, which I usually don't like. I didn't ask them for money either. They offered. Like, I don't ask my parents for money. I don't ask unless I'm about to be put out on the street. It's call it a pride thing for me. I try to make it on my own. But it is nice to have family that got your back, and fans. You guys have always got my back, and the donations are amazing. It's kept me afloat. With the numbers on Patreon, I still haven't broken my minimum. I think I'm at 1,200. So we got 2 months. We'll see what happens. But if it stays the same, it's looking like I'll have to find a job in the summer. But I'll still be able to bring you guys Magog. It'll just, school will be replaced with work. But at least with work, I won't have homework. So when I clock out, whatever job I end up getting, when I clock out, I'll at least be able to come home and work on episodes. I won't have homework because I'll probably just end up getting some sort of job. Either try to pick up more cleaning contracts and bring that business back that I quit, or just go and get a job at Walmart or something, But, Nothing for you here says, I'm the same way. I won't ask for help even if I'm literally dying. Yeah, that's like me. It's just a sense of pride thing with me. Like, I am thankful for my family. And once my mom offers money, you don't say no. It's an insult. You say, thanks, mama. Love you. You don't go, no, because that'll insult her. Cult of Lich says, serious question. Do you love the USA? Of course I do. I love this country. I serve this country. I went to war for this country. I love this place. It has its problems. Don't get me wrong. I'm very critical of some of those problems. But I love this place. I love this country. I am a patriot. I come from a long family of military service members. My father was in the service. Both my grandfathers were in the service. One of them fought in World War II, the other in Korea. No, I definitely love the USA. First super chat I have ever done. Keep up the good work. Thanks, T-Rex. Appreciate it. Yes, and I do have the Streamlabs link in the description. Thanks, I Fear Guests. Also, you guys can turn on the live chat instead of top chat. Go ahead and switch that. Which branch, says Way to the Twilight? I was in the Air Force. But don't let that fool you. I did convoys. So I chewed dirt with the Army for 9 months in Iraq. Driving trucks, getting shot at, getting blown up. Not really. I'm glad I never got hit with an IED, but I did fuck up my neck, and that's why I'm out of the military. So, busted up my spine pretty good. Blew a disc and compressed my spine. Blew a disc in my neck, C3 and C4 right here at the very top. Jumping over a concrete barrier, jumped my truck over a concrete barrier, getting out of a potential kill zone in North Baghdad, and hit my head on the ceiling of my truck and blew out my spine. So, I'm a disabled vet technically, but I don't get a lot of money. I'm not like high percentage, like a lot of guys, they get like 100% disability and they don't have to work. They get everything from the military. They get, thousands of dollars a month and all that stuff. I'm only about 30% disabled. So I still have to work and I still have to do things. And don't get me wrong, it's nice to have a little extra money from old Uncle Sam for what I did. But if you ask me if I'd rather have $400 a month tax-free the rest of my life for my disability or my neck back, I'd choose my neck back. But it is what it is, I was happy to serve and I enjoyed my time, but that was it. So Brad Young, Magog went Dukes of Hazzard in Iraq. Hell yeah. Damn, Skippy, I did. I know an Army guy who fucked up his back doing airborne. Yeah, that'll do it. You don't land right? Fuck. Fucking paratroopers, man. Mad respect for them fucking guys. I could never jump out of a perfectly functioning aircraft. But, so like a lot of people make fun of the Air Force because we're logistics mostly, and a lot of people call us the chair force, and we're the club med of all the branches, where we get all the money and we have all the great stuff. But not my job. I was a transportation man. I drove trucks, buses, forklifts, you fucking name it. And when I went down range, I did convoys because Army needed help. They needed truck drivers who knew what the fuck they were doing. That was me. So had a good time. Good and bad, but for the most part. Thank you for your service. Thank you, Van Dorn, and Michael Hatfield. Thank you. No, it was my pleasure. And it's that kind of stuff that actually makes me proud that I served, and like when people are like, "Oh, thank you so much," and all that stuff. I mean, it's really nice to have grateful people, grateful civilians that know what we do. Because there's a lot of people that ended up worse than me doing convoys and doing combat and all that stuff. So I'm not trying to sit here and toot my own horn and say, oh, look at me, I'm a disabled vet because I actually saw action. There are a lot worse out there. Please don't make me into a hero, guys. I'm not a hero. I did my job and came home, Mrs. Beardy asked, what was harder, Iraq or art school? Fucking art school, man. And it's not because the work is harder. It's the culture on campus. It's just cancer. It's fucking cancer. I can't stand it. Like there's parts of me that would rather be in Iraq fucking working my ass off doing 32 fucking hour runs without sleep in a truck, pissing in fucking Gatorade bottles because we can't fucking download. And that still at least felt like I was a part of something bigger than myself. But school is just like, ugh. I'm so done after this. I really am after this semester. I'm so fucking done. Miss Beard said, called it. Godspeed to your uncle. I must have missed something. Wasatch Jackalope. Oh, my uncle works at Hill Air Force Base. He's going to Afghanistan for a year in April. Godspeed. Yeah. Godspeed. Doing your job is more than I can say for 90% of millennials, says Wasteland Viking. That's a damn truth right there. Wasteland Viking hitting us with the fucking truth, man. That fucking guy knows where it's at. He's up in a fucking hospital bed right now. Just got out of fucking surgery and is recovering. And he's sitting there in pain, listening to this live stream going, at least I'm not a millennial. Yeah. Yeah, I can survive this because I'm not a millennial. Oh, yeah. Hope you feel better soon, man. Minnow says, thanks for your service. Thank you. Yep. Shit, man. Beardy's in the chat. Let's, man, maybe I just throw him the link if he feels like coming on. He doesn't have to, obviously, but if he wants. I'm just chilling, you know. I just wanted to update on some people, and then I had a great idea. I know I'm thinking ahead a little bit, but I got excited. You know, I got a new car. I've had a lot of work this week with final projects, critiques, all that stuff. So it's been a busy fucking week. I've barely been on Twitter. I've barely done anything but homework and finalizing my projects, my photography and everything, writing my journals, getting prepared for my my research paper in London art history. But I feel reinvigorated since my parents offered to help me find a place and to get this show really going. And so I thought about, I thought about getting some just ideas down for the show. And a friend of mine, I just recently got off the phone with him before I started this stream, just catching up. We were talking about the show, the potential sitcom, and he was like, it would be a funny situation if Magog and Beardbarian found themselves in a love triangle trying to woo the same woman, and they fight each other over this girl, but then Magog finds out she's a dude, and so lets Beardy win. So the episode could end with Beardy going in the tent saying, I have won the day. And she goes in there, and then all of a sudden it's like, that is a man, and we could get Beardbarian going, that is a man, my signature line, then you could hear Magog in the background, so I thought it would be really funny to maybe, I don't know, maybe kind of brainstorm with you guys and make a list, and maybe people can tweet or whatever, but make a list of potential funny situations that Magog can get into in the sitcom, so if, because I want this project to not just be, me coming up with stuff. I want to involve the fans. I would love to get some fans going, oh my God, I wrote that episode, or I came up with the idea for that episode and Magog used it. Obviously it's still going to involve a lot of script writing and my own, spin on things and everything. But, if you guys have any ideas, tweet them at me. You can DM me. I know I haven't gotten around to answering everybody yet because I've been so busy. But like I said, once school ends, I'm going to get back into the social media game a little heavier. You're going to get more episodes. And as I move, we're going to develop the show, And I would love to hear if there's any funny ideas for some interesting things to get into. Anyone who chooses to serve and put their life on the line, do force for someone they don't know, is a hero. Thank you. Well, thank you, Charles Fallier. I really don't. I'm pretty humble about it. Like most military people are. They don't really like to. I mean, we love the the thank yous and thank you for serving and stuff, because it's better than back in the Vietnam days when them soldiers would come home and they'd get spit on and called baby killers and stuff. And I know that happens sometimes still in this country, but for the most part, everybody loves the troops and we appreciate that. But we also, we're pretty humble about it. We don't like to think we're heroes, because it's a strange kind of feeling, but thank you so much. Lepard says, I have a million ideas, but fuck me if I can remember them when I need them. I run into that problem all the fucking time, man. That's funny. Are we getting spammed again? I see some messages deleted. Did we get one of these bots in the chat again? Magog and Beardy having a Pulp Fiction moment. They find themselves tied up in the back room of a pond. Beardbarian comes in with an axe. Go ahead and get that, Zed. Go on, go for that gun. Oh, I got my shirt of Magog Morscar. It's awesome, and people at work give me odd looks. It's great. Well, thanks, Des. Thanks for ordering a shirt. I got to get a whole new line of merchandise done this year. Like, it's been so long since I've done a new t-shirt design. Pull out the bad motherfucker wallet. Yeah, that's my bad motherfucker. Well, I love that movie. Yeah, anyway, yeah, I sent Beerberry and the link. If he feels like popping in, he will. If not, I'll just sit here and talk with you guys. I've made my announcements. I know that's pretty quick, but this was not meant to be like a big thing. I just wanted to kind of update everybody who was bored and sitting at home. Maybe they'd feel like, fucking seeing me talk for a little bit. Friday nights, man, Wasatch Jackalope says, wait, there's merch? Where is this store? Link in the description, I believe. It's at Teespring. But yeah, the link to my store is in every one of my videos. Tatiana says, I have worn both of mine to work. Love them. Awesome. Y'all should send me pictures of y'all wearing my merch so I can make a collection and then start sharing them out on Twitter, and maybe I'll make a video and show my fans, maybe in the end credits of side quest while the credits are rolling before the little skit plays, I'll post pictures kind of faded in the background but clearly can be seen as the words going up of all my fans wearing merch. And I got to get that picture of Bunty King holding my This Vexes Me coffee mug and stuff. That would be a fun idea. Wasatch Jackalopes, I need to start checking descriptions. Yes, you do, because that's the only place they let us put links. We're not allowed to put hyperlinks on the actual video to click on anymore or anything. I mean, we can, but they end up getting flagged from what I hear. And I tried it once or twice where the little boxes pop up at the end and people can just click on them real quick and go to different websites or channels. And it did not like my Patreon link up there. It fucking flagged. The fucking video got it didn't get striked or anything, but it got fucking demonetized, and I got a message or something. I don't know. They don't like external links, man. I feel like one of these days YouTube's just going to take away the description box altogether. I wonder how many Magogs will be out there come Halloween, asked Rush370. I would love that, personally. I would love to see pictures. If anybody dresses as Magog, send me pictures. I fucking love the idea of people loving the character so much they dress like them for Halloween. That's fucking amazing to me. I better trademark this motherfucker. I really should. Are we going to see a Magog Halloween kit? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I can get a robe and some black makeup and some contact lenses, put it all in a package and sell it with the official More Scar seal on the back of the robe or something, so that people know, Whatever you do, Poe must be involved. I demand it. Well, of course. Yeah, I love Poe. I just want to build a better Poe. Eventually, I want to get to the point where, the sitcom actually has a robotic Poe, like an animatronic skeleton raven that's a custom design, so I'm not just using a cheap Halloween prop anymore, and his beak will actually move and stuff, and I can have him wired up and actually talk and stuff in the episodes, and maybe even CGI him, moving around every now and again or something, make it the Magogonite starter kit. That would be fun. Poe sold separately. You really should trademark your characters. I could probably trademark Magog, but not Poe, because Poe's a Halloween prop made by another company. And the fact that they haven't even messaged me yet, I'm glad they haven't discovered it. They're called Crazy Bones. And I would love to get their sponsorship. I don't know if they'd like it or not because of the political stuff I talk about, but if they turned out to be some good people, they'd be like, holy shit, this guy's using our fucking prop, man. He's giving us free advertisement. So yeah. Come Halloween, you guys can buy Crazy Bones stuff in stores. I mean, they ship it out for the Halloween months, Please make the robotic Poe, says Brad Young. Yes, that would be awesome if somebody could make an actual, movable robotic Poe. I would fucking love it. Problem is, he's made of bones, so you can see through him. And you have to make it to where you can't see all the gears and stuff, and I don't know how to do any of that. That there's some things that are beyond me. Wasteland Viking says, I already have a Poe in a cage. Awesome. Jumping over to Gulf Theater. Hail Magog, see you after, if still streaming. All right, have fun. I forgot that Gulf Theater was on tonight. My bad. Yeah, Beardy might be over there then. Um, yeah, I totally forgot. I don't like to stream typically when other people are streaming. Try not to overlap each other and stuff. But once again, this isn't like a big stream anyway. I'm just having fun. It's my Beyond Magog. So any questions you guys have or want to throw at me or something, you go ahead and fucking ask them. But I'd love to see some tweets or anything like that. Any ideas you guys for just like basic ideas for a skit, like situations that you would love to see kind of Magog in, and of course I will credit you if I use the idea, Magog goes to Gen Con. It would be awesome if he could geek out at the biggest game convention in the world. Well, that doesn't really happen in the realm of Morscar, but if I ever start going to cons, if I'm ever big enough that I can afford trips like that, yeah, I'd go walk around in the costume and have someone follow me with a camera and film that. Nothing can't be accomplished with magic. Magog, do you ever read your Twitter DMs? I do, but I don't always have the time to answer them. I know I have a backlog of DMs, and I apologize for that, but it's just right now with school, it's just I most nights, if I'm lucky, I get 2 hours, maybe, to myself, not doing homework. And that's the time I used to like eat and like watch a movie or something. It's the only time I get outside of homework and sleep and trying to do stuff for the show, which oftentimes gets pushed aside because of homework. So, don't worry. Like as soon as I'm out of school, guys, I mean, this full-time thing, it's not happening anymore. This is my last semester of full-time school. My GI Bill is up. I'm done. It's done. After May 8th, I am going to be 100% free to get back into all that stuff. So just be patient. It's only like 2 months away. Did you see the video George Sprave has out on a YouTube union? Is that did I say his name right? Yes, I did see it because Undoom mirrored it. And of course, I'm subscribed to Undoom. And I joined the union on Facebook. But I don't know if anything will come of it, to be honest with you, because people have tried that in the past, and there's not a good enough alternative to YouTube to see the mass migration. I mean, most people who watch YouTube outside of our little group, we have some pretty dedicated fans that number in the hundreds of thousands, and that is not even a percentile of the audience on YouTube. And the bulk of the 58 million people that use YouTube every day doesn't give a fuck about moving to another platform. They don't even know what's going on. They don't know that there's a corner of YouTube being attacked right now and all the creators are getting their channels shut down and shit. They don't even care. They're their average person who's like, I'm going to look up a music video, or I'm going to look up some video on how to fix my car or something. They're not interested in moving to another platform. It's going to be really hard to unionize against a company that doesn't even see us as a threat to their bottom line, because they don't even have much of a bottom line. YouTube doesn't make money for Google. Google keeps YouTube for other reasons. It's social currency. They get to control the discourse on the internet. That's more valuable to them than YouTube actually making profits. Like, we all know that YouTube doesn't make profit, that they're in the fucking red every year. They don't make Google money. As much money as they collect from our ads and our super chats, they take 30% of this and 30% of that and all that stuff. As much money as they make off of that, they still are in the red compared to how much it costs to run that business and the amount of server space and employees and programming and algorithms and all that stuff. So I will follow it. Don't get me wrong. I'll follow the YouTube union and I'll participate if I can. But I just don't see it really going anywhere, because you also get a lot of YouTubers who are just like, I tried to call for that. Remember my M for Magog video, which was like a parody of the V for Vendetta speech. I called for November 5th to be a day where YouTubers don't put up content and instead put up content on alternative sites to kind of have a day where we show YouTube that we're united and that we're not going to use their fucking platform and they keep fucking us. And nothing happened. And I'm not saying it's because I don't have enough followers, because I had a lot of people watch that video and spread it around, and a lot of people talked about it on Twitter. It may not have been viral, but I had a lot of YouTube creators that I know personally who were like, oh, that was a great video. It was funny, but I'm not going to do that because I can't afford to take a day off. I need the money, what little money I get, I need to upload every day. And so when you have people who aren't even willing to sacrifice one day as a creator uploading content in order to protest YouTube, a YouTube union ain't going to do shit, you know? You said his name correctly. As a creator, can you please suggest a platform that isn't Facebook? It is literally worse than Google. I agree. Facebook's pretty bad too. As far as the platforms that I know about, Minds and BitChute for videos. That's about it. And I only just started using BitChute, so I don't know much about it. It seems like a pretty solid platform, but it doesn't look like it has a user base. And Minds has been around for a good while now and still doesn't have the user base to even come close to competing with the regular YouTube use. They're just a giant, okay? It's going to take a mass migration of the people. We're going to need like a social revolution of sorts. You're going to need average, normal people to go, you know what? Fuck YouTube. I like this other thing over here. It's kind of like what happened with MySpace and Facebook. MySpace was the big thing. Facebook came around and just happened to just appeal to enough regular people that it stole it all away from MySpace. And then, of course, MySpace also made their fuck-ups that added to that. But until somebody can come up with a website idea that not only is just as brilliant as YouTube, but also has the same kind of catchy kind of name, it's all about marketing, and can like really draw people as the new thing, like mass people, not just people that sees what's going on and hates it, you know. You're not going to see much change, honestly. YouTube's going to do what they're going to do, and they're not going to give a fuck. Now, there is a pushback, don't get me wrong, and I think that's the strongest thing, is that there's this pushback, you know, articles being written about how they've shut down conservative channels and things like that. And that's the way we fight the best. Like, get on Twitter and start like hashtagging YouTube and, you know, write articles and do investigative journalism and find out who's been shut down and for what reasons, and things like that. And that's how we break them. It's not about unionizing and trying to unify YouTube and show YouTube that we can all quit and hurt their bottom line, because they don't give a fuck. They really don't give a fuck. They know that even if all of the skeptic community, or whatever you want to call us, all of the counterculture users, everybody from Sargon of Akkad and PewDiePie and all these people, whoever it is, Dave Rubin, Louder or Crowder, you name them, if they all just got up one day and was like, you know what? Let's just quit for a week and see what YouTube has to say about that. YouTube would go, we still have 58 million other users. Go fuck yourself. They don't care. They have money to spend because they're part of Google. So the only real way to hurt them is to actually bring their bullshit to light and get more mainstream media reporting on it to reach the average Joe Blow, you know? And that means constant investigative journalism, real journalism, not just getting on Twitter going, fuck YouTube, I hate YouTube. All that's fine. Express yourself, of course. But that's not helping the situation. What really needs to happen is people need to actually dig into YouTube and start like getting people that work for YouTube to talk, start getting documents from YouTube proving they're doing some shady shit. And that's already happening. I saw a recent article where like some YouTuber anonymously talked with the Wall Street Journal, which surprised me that they printed this. But they printed a story about how YouTube employees were told to completely ignore applications for white people, to only accept applications for work, for jobs, from like females and Latinos and people of color. And it's like, yeah, we start we start picking apart those things, they'll start taking a hit because that reaches more people. Is there a lag? I don't know. I'm not watching the stream. I don't know if you guys agree with me or not. That's my thoughts on the matter as far as the union strike thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. Unions have worked in the past. Factory workers would just go, company, please make these changes, and then go, fuck you. And then all the workers would get together and go, fine, we're going on strike. And even though they don't get paid, they're also not doing the work, and the company suffers until one of them buckles. But the internet's a different place. It's not like a physical company. You're not going to just, even if all these workers, creators, just up and went on strike, and could even deal with the fact that they're not making the money for just a little while to teach YouTube a lesson. YouTube wouldn't give a fuck because they don't make any money anyway, and they have millions of other people making content all around the world with millions of people watching. You would have to get millions of creators to leave all at once to be effective, and that's fucking impossible. And then even if you did that, you'd still have a lot of the other creators going, I'm going to take advantage of this situation and be like the only guy making content on the day that nobody's making content, and I'll get all the audience watching, So there'll be people using that situation to also benefit themselves and say, fuck the strike, I'm going to work, And that's just the way it is. It's just too big because technically YouTube employs every creator. Google employs every creator that uploads videos. You get a 1099 from them and everything. When I get my paychecks, they're from Google. I'm a Google employee technically. And so is anybody else who actually uses the platform and is a creator. And when you have that many employees, when a few hundred of them go on strike and you have millions working for you, it's not even a blip on the fucking radar. So, there was a cure for people who ignored strikes. Yeah, they were called scabs. And they get their asses beat if they got fucking caught. And that's kind of the downside with unions is eventually they gain too much power themselves. And then they start fucking everything up. Look at Detroit. Unions fuck Detroit. I just sent you a DM about RoboPo. All right, I'll check it out after the stream. Thanks, Rev. You ignore the fact that the head of YouTube Union is an angry German man. Never underestimate angry Germans. On the undoomed mirror of that video, that's pretty much the comment I made. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the idea. I'm not knocking it. I'm just a realist when it comes to this. It's probably not going to have much of an effect unless it can get some sort of mainstream attention. That's the problem, is we're just not reaching the broader spectrum of people who use YouTube, which are your average jackoffs that are just looking up music videos and shit. They don't care about creators. They don't even know. They'll watch a funny video and go, ah, that was funny, and go about their fucking day, So I'll follow it. I'll see what happens, but I don't have high hopes for it actually doing anything or having an effect because we're dealing with a conglomerate here that is bigger than anything we can fucking imagine. They literally own like a massive corner of the internet itself. Like we're talking about YouTube here and Google. It's a hydra. You can cut as many heads off if you want, but there's plenty more. What really needs to happen to change things is the company itself has to change from within, or get the government involved. And I'm not sure that's a good idea. It can happen in the right way, Charles Fowler says, as a Jew, I agree, never trust an angry German. I'm not saying I don't trust him. It's not him. He has a good idea. His heart's in the right place. He's passionate, charismatic. He has a huge following. He has over 1 million subs. He's trying to do something, and I don't blame him. I just don't personally think it'll work. Just judging based on the facts. They're a massive company that don't give a fuck about you. You're an ant to them, you know? Even stars can implode on themselves when they grow too big. That is true, but we have to wait for that implosion. And oftentimes, when stars implode, it's because of the chemistry that's happening within their hearts. It's not from outside sources, unless two stars collide. And even then, shit, they just kind of feed off of each other, if we're using that metaphor. It has to happen from within. Google has to restructure YouTube and stuff. They have to want to change. That's the thing. We can pressure them all we want and write articles and point out their bullshit all we want, but they have to want to give up this fucking ideology and fire Susan Wojcicki and all the other fucktards over there that are censoring people because they're conservative or centrist or whatever have you, because whatever that person said hurt their fifis, and replace them with people who are objective and know how to run a company to make a profit without infringing on people's basic human fucking rights. Personally, I don't want to see beheading videos on YouTube either. But that's not even what we're talking about. Everybody wants that shit gone. The pedo shit, the fucking beheadings, the ISIS videos. Yes, get rid of that shit. But even if you look into that, that's a very small percentage of what gets uploaded on YouTube. I don't know why they're overreacting like this. And it's because the ads, don't get me wrong, the adpocalypse was a huge pushback because they do want to make money. But I don't think they necessarily care about making money over their ideology. I don't see evidence of that. I really don't. I mean, they want money for sure. I mean, everybody wants to make money, but if they have to sacrifice their progressive ideals to make money, and allow this stuff that they hate on their platform because it's fair and they treat everybody fairly, it doesn't interest them. They have to want to change that. Marcus Phoenix says, sorry I jumped on the stream late, but I'm here now. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. You're not that late. I've only been going for like 40 minutes or something. Anyway, I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong, too. If I'm wrong, I'd love to hear from somebody who thinks I am wrong, that what we're doing with the unions and the deciding not to upload on certain days or something or use other platforms is working. But so far, I haven't seen dick all evidence to prove that it is working. They don't seem to fucking care because every fucking week it's something new. They just shut down InfoWars that had millions of subscribers like it was nothing. They just wait for a controversy like the shooting in Florida. And then when people make videos about the shooting in Florida, it justifies them going, no, you can't talk about that. No. That was a tragedy. You can't have a different opinion on that. Shut them down, shut them down, shut them down. They're waiting for the justification. Yeah, I've talked about that before, Tankard indoors. If I win the lottery, he says, I'll be an absolute shitlord and create a viable opposition out of spite. I've said that before. If I ever won the Powerball and had like 300 million, even though it would take even more than that to compete with YouTube, it's a damn good start. I'd pour every fucking ounce of every dollar I won in the lottery to create a website that's monetized, that attracts creators, and that's also catchy as an app name and a symbol that people would want to download. Because it also has to appeal to people. You can't just come up with a website and call it myawesometube.com. That doesn't exactly roll off the tongue. Nobody's going to switch to that. Some of these more popular tech companies started out with something very simple, but the name of the company itself became a fucking word, like in the dictionary. Like when you talk to people, a lot of times they don't even say, I'm a content creator on the internet. They say, I'm a YouTuber. Google is in the fucking dictionary now as a fucking, verb. Go Google it, Twitter had that catchy little bird, and it's like, oh, they make a tweet sound, and you can say, I tweeted at somebody, or I sent them a tweet, or, stuff like that. Like, it's all marketing, man. You can't just come up with some name, PoTube. Would that bird lie? It's funny. PoTube. Yes, come join my website. I promise it'll be dreary. And that website will be run by Magog, the company. Yes, Magog. Gogger's Morse car, having a day of no content would be the same as the day without immigrants. Nothing would happen. Yeah, I agree with that. It's just a day. They'll make it up the next day when the content creators go, okay, I need money this week. Let's do a live stream or let's put up a video and get some ad money, you know? Guys like Mundane Matt, you know, like he's a friend. I like talking to him, despite what you guys might think of him. That's up to you guys. You know, I find him an interesting guy to talk to. And, but even he does like 3 videos a day just to make, you know, after the adpocalypse, just to make enough money for him to feel comfortable living in his lifestyle. And he wouldn't give it up for a day. He would lose hundreds of dollars. He wouldn't even give it up for one day, you know? And there's a lot of creators like that. And I can't blame them. It's their job. This is what they made their career and they want to make it work. Corey Taylor says, we love you. I love you too. That was a little gay, wasn't it, guys? A little gay. Just a little gay. I did have a fan send me something. I don't have a P.O. box, but he was a guy that I trusted with my home address because he created something by hand. And I plan on using it as a prop in the show. I'm going to reveal it now. It's really cool. It's a sacrificial bone dagger with runes carved into it. And these runes hanging off the handle say ass rape. It's pretty cool. He sent me pictures of it. It was like, I totally want to send this to you. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a chance. He could dox me, but what the hell? I plan on moving anyway. So I gave him my home address and he sent this to me. And it's fucking cool. It kind of looks like a meat hook too, because it's curved. He's like, can you imagine Magog being like, I know what you did last summer? You know? So, yeah, if somebody has something they like really desperately want to send me and they're waiting for my P.O. box, if you contact me on DMs, you know, and I feel like you're trustworthy, I'll give you my home address where I'm currently staying and you can send it to me because I don't plan on being here much longer anyway. But I'm not going to make it public because I don't want just any old bloke to see it on my Twitter saying, hey, send me stuff here, you know, like. If it's a one at a time kind of situation, DM me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can because I can't just be on my DMs all the time because I'm school all day until 4:30 in the afternoon. And then I fight traffic all the way home. I'm not home until 6 at night. And I usually have about 4 hours of homework after that. So, you know, if I don't answer back right away, please don't be insulted. Like I said, I'll be getting back to that kind of stuff as soon as school is over. But I love getting stuff from fans and stuff. I can't wait to actually have a P.O. box that I can release publicly. But if you're one of my longtime fans and I recognize your name and I know who you are and I know you're a Magogonite and you really want to send me something, just message me and explain what it is you want to send me or whatever have you, and I'll give you my my home address if I feel I can trust you. If you're a weird stalker freak who's all like going to show up at my front door, I mean, please don't. I mean, I love you guys, but it's weird, right? Like to just open my door one day and be like, oh my God, I'm your biggest fan. And I have guns, so please don't. I don't want to shoot somebody just to find out they're weird. You know, they're one of my crazy, awesome, excellent Magogonites, okay? I don't want you guys to die for me. I want you to sacrifice yourself for me. There's a difference. I'm joking. Please don't shut down my channel, YouTube. I'm not calling for a mass suicide of my fans, okay? It's just not. You guys got your Kool-Aid tonight? Des Marie, so cancel the plane ticket. Yes, Yes, we will hang out in Australia when I come to visit because I've never been to Australia, and I would love to be. I would love to visit Australia and see all the deadly animals that can kill me. Yeah, and even if you sacrifice yourself for me, Ghastly will just make sure you're entangled and come back as a ghost anyway. So come to Sydney. I will try. One of these days, I'll have enough money to start making trips and do shows, do like a live event and come meet Magog and have fireworks going off. And Magog comes out on stage just, I hate all of you. Why do you love me? I hate you. uh, I'm joking. Obviously, I'd definitely say that. Melissa Knight says, "Oh my God, yes, come to Brisbane." I guess I'm going to end up doing a fucking Australian tour now because now I've got Sydney, Brisbane, I don't know if they would welcome me in Australia. Will you have room for my big truck? No, I live in a pretty small apartment complex there, buddy. Maybe on my land, you can come and fucking bring me a load of fucking, I don't know, bring me shit. You can truck in some fucking wood or something for me to build my village. My castle needs to be built. So, yep. Cult of Lich, trained ex-vet with guns, so don't be a crazy stalker. Noted. Yeah, it's usually yeah. I Fear Gast is offering 40-pound box of rape. That's a classic. Yeah. 40-pound box of rape. 40-pound box of rape. 40-pound box of rape. Don't open it. Charles Fowler says, hot chick with big knocker shows up. You be happy. I will either confirm nor deny if that were to happen. One of these days, too, if I get a bigger place and actually set up the bigger sets, I'd love to actually have a female friend. I don't have any female friends, but if I can mate a female friend that wouldn't mind dressing up in a medieval costume and actually being on the show and come and fucking, come in and fucking pour Magog's drink and feed him grapes, but also absolutely hates him and slaps him every time or something, I think that would be funny if he had a female, barmaid or something. Heavy Fisted says, don't fuck crazy. Yep. Yeah, that's a golden rule there. But sometimes you also can't help it. Sometimes the crazy ones are fun, man. Gang bang. Gang bang. Gang bang. Oh, y'all are funny. So yeah, that's the plan. And as far as other developments, I am going to try to maybe do a little fundraising of some sort. I know I mentioned in the past the doing the prints that are signed, autographed, and numbered by hand of artwork that has to do with Morskar and Magog, and selling those not only to just sell, but to also people buying them would know that the money is actually going to the show. So instead of a Kickstarter where people are just giving money and then hoping the show happens, they're at least buying something from me and getting something really cool and unique and rare that in return for their donation. So I never got my Patreon pick. That's weird, Rev. You should have got yours by now because I know you've been with me for a while. I don't actually mail those out. My scribe does. And because he took over the merchandise side, so maybe he missed you by accident. Resend me your address. I'll make sure you get it because they're about to go out. I send them out at the beginning of every month. So because, that's when the payments drop and I know people have made the right payments. And then they all go out, so I'm not making multiple trips to the, scribes not making multiple trips to the post office every damn month, or all throughout the month and stuff. So, have you practiced Magog's signature? You are gonna do cons soon, man. Yeah, Magog has a signature, and I have practiced it many times. I've already signed 100 photographs and left them with Scribe so he can mail them out when people join the Patreon for $10 or more. And yep. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna try to get that done come summer. I got no time to do artwork for myself right now. I'm doing artwork for school out the ass. Like I said, I've got a magazine cover to design. I've got a comic book to do for sequential media. I have a presentation due on Tuesday. I have a research paper for Art History of London that I've got to start finalizing and get an outline. It's due Monday, the outline, so I've got to do that this weekend. And I've got another photography, a set of photography homework to do. So thank you. I was getting kind of worried with this ranting, knowing he's still on is good. What are you guys talking about? When is Magog going to visit the VIP box in Gulf City Theater? When I have time and when I get invited. To be honest with you, because I kind of, outside of Beerbarian, because I kind of do my own thing and people kind of leave me out of the drama and I didn't really get wrapped up in like the blood sports and stuff like that. Nobody really reaches out to me much anymore as far as YouTube friends. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, we're all still friends, but it's not like I hear from Failure much anymore, or Tonka, or Vamp, or AP Ghastly. They're there. If I tweet at them, they'd probably like it or respond maybe, but it's not like we talk anymore. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing and trying to make their own careers happen. And so, that's that. I don't have time to get wrapped up in blood sports, even if I was really all that interested. I might be able to do good at it because I'm halfway decent at insulting people, but it's just not my forte. I want to entertain and make people laugh. I want to do bigger shows, more elaborate effects, bring the world of Morscar to life. I want to start doing the lore videos in the summer once I'm out of school and I can do the artwork for them. It's just not what I want to do for my career. If I get invited on one of the shows and have it out with somebody now and again just for fun, like a roast, I'm okay with that, but that's not what I do. It's not what I want to do. I've got nothing against Andy and Tonka and all them that are doing the blood sports. They found a niche and people like it, and that's fine. I'm not judging anybody on that. It's just not what I do personally, because it also takes a lot of effort to kind of make that entertaining for hours and hours on end. I mean, I've seen the Kumite. It goes for like 7 hours. I mean, I don't have that kind of time right now. And even if I had the time right now to do it once in a while, I don't know if I would, because any extra time I get, I try to use it to do more episodes or something, or try to pull ahead, What is your favorite edition of D&D? I have never played Dungeons & Dragons in my life. I know a lot of people assume that because I'm a fucking wizard. But no, I honestly never played D&D in my life. I played some of the old video games, like back in the DOS days. I played like Eye of the Beholder, stuff like that. But no, I don't. The only tabletop game I've ever played was a World of Darkness game for about a year with my friends. I played Demon. The second Demon, not the first one. It was Demon the Descent, I think. Yeah. It was the one with the God Machine, and demons were actually like programs of the God Machine that had broken off and went their own way. It was interesting, don't get me wrong, but most of my love of fantasy comes from books I've read and video games I've played. Like Skyrim took like 6 years of my life. Like I loved Skyrim. And when I found out I could get it on PC and then mod it, that added another, like I played it for 3 years on a console. And then I discovered the PC version can be modded with all this cool new lands that people had invented from scratch, and new player-owned houses and armor and weapons and retextures and all kinds of new monsters you can add to the game and stuff, and gave it all new aspect of the game. So for like 3 years I played it on console, and then for 3 more years I played it on PC and modded the hell out of it. And so that was a huge inspiration to me, was like games like the first Dragon Age, Dragon Age Origins, and Skyrim and stuff. Gotta go. All hail Magog. Magog nice for light, and keep it evil. Right on, Wasteland. Take it easy, my bud. Get better. EQ was the last fantasy I played. EQ. 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 I don't know what that is. Doesn't ring a bell. Now we need Magog mods in Skyrim. When I first started the channel and started getting a decent audience, I had a few people make Magog in Skyrim and put on like the black necromancer robes that you can get in the game and put a hood on, and they had the black makeup and everything. EverQuest. Oh, EverQuest. I remember that game. I never played it, but I had friends who played it. Did you ever play World of Warcraft? No. Typically, most of the games I played were one player. I don't like playing with other people. I never got into World of Warcraft. I never got into, the last MMO I ever played was RuneScape, and it was dial-up days. That's how against MMOs I am. I'm sorry, but I just don't like it. I just don't like it. People come out of nowhere and just fucking kill you if you're in a P2P, if you accidentally wander in a P2P area or whatever, PvP area. I also never like I play games like I watch movies. I want to see the story unfold. I want to immerse myself in the world. I want to play out the storyline and go on this grand adventure. And then when it comes to an end, like the end of a movie, I'm done. Unless I want to replay it, like in the case of Skyrim, And that's just me. That's just my own personal, because that's how I like to take in my games. And it's really hard to do that with MMOs, because you're trying to immerse yourself in the story in this world, and then you wander into a village and everybody's all, using language that doesn't belong in the world, or they're fucking making their little avatar dance all goofy and do stupid shit. So, I never bought it. I never got into it. I think there was one other online MMO that I played back in the day, and it was called Dark Ages of Camelot. I didn't own it, but I played it at a friend's house. Every time I'd go over and visit him, I'd fuck around on it, because he'd let me play for a little bit. And it was fun, don't get me wrong, but that was a long time ago too. The graphics were shit. Baldur's Gate. I had a friend of mine who played Baldur's Gate. He's told me about it, but I don't know much about it personally. But like I said, I was always more of a one-player kind of guy. Like, I liked one-player games, but that was also the era I grew up in. Games weren't multiplayer unless you plugged in a controller and had your friend sitting right next to you when I grew up. I'm not saying I'm stuck in my ways. I do like the idea of playing some of these modern games, but they have to be very specific. Like, I have Witcher 3 on my computer, and I have yet to play it because I'm so busy. If I ever get a chance that I can take like a break from the channel and a break from school and a break from work and take a week off for myself, I'll probably just play fucking Witcher 3 for a week straight without sleep, because I really want to play that fucking game, but I just don't have enough time to pour myself into a really great RPG like that. Melissa Knight, would you start a Discord server? That'd be amazing. I have a Discord server. I never use it. I have no idea how to use it. It's on there, though. I don't know the link to it or anything. But you're more than welcome to join it or whatever. I don't know how that even works. Failure set it up for me fucking months ago. And I've got so much social media to pay attention to already. I never get on it. Do you like Far Cry? I've played a couple of the Far Cry games, not all the way through. They seem fun, but like I said, I'm pretty particular about my games. I like medieval fantasy. Like games with guns and first-person shooters and stuff like that, I rarely play. Because I want to shoot guns, I'll go shoot guns. Like, for real. They're very good games though, and beautiful games. And there are a couple games that I play that are third person or first person shooters now and again, but I really like going into a whole new world that isn't anything close to reality at all. I did like Just Cause. Just Cause 2 was a favorite of mine for a while, just because I could just run around blowing shit up on this tiny little island, and it was kind of a sandbox free for all. If you didn't want to follow the storyline, you didn't have to. You could just go from village to village blowing up all the communist shit. There's all this stuff with big red stars on it that was like owned by the communist government, and you just blew it up, and then the army would come after you and you fucking mow them down. Just Cause was fun. Did you ever play the Ultima series before it went MMO? No. I wasn't a huge gamer. I've just always been so busy in life. When I was in the military, I played games a little bit, got an Xbox in my dorm room and stuff, but for the most part, I just worked and attempted to have relationships, but they eventually fell apart. My first girlfriend just absolutely hated video games. I couldn't play when she was around. She always thought I wasn't paying attention to her. She was pretty clingy. Kingdom Hearts, I've heard that's a fun game. I just don't know much about it either. Like I said, I really love gaming culture. I love the people who play games. I love games design. I love how they look, but I just don't have time. And if I have time, I'm going to be very particular at what game I pick because I don't have a lot of time. So I feel like if you don't work, if you don't pour your heart and soul into what you want to do for your life, if you let yourself get distracted too much by hobbies like video gaming and stuff, you're never going to have your dreams come true. And maybe that's fine. Maybe a lot of people, they're happy with where they're at. They have their job and they spend their money on games. I certainly have plenty of friends who are like that. They like their day job well enough. It gives them enough money to come home in the evening and spend money on video games and movies. And that is fine. That's how I lived my life since I was 18 years old. But now I'm 32, I'm going on 33, and I want to make something of myself. I want to start something. I want to build something. I want to build a company. I want to build a multimedia company. I want to be Magog. I want to bring entertainment to thousands of people. I want to build this thing from the ground up. I want to do the sitcom, and I want to do the artwork, and I want to do the t-shirt designs, and I want to do the website, and I want to design the world and let people run around in it, visually, and eventually maybe even do a fucking video game of my own. Get some guys to design a Morskar, Shadows of Vithaka, video game or something based on the original book that the world that Magog lives in is based on. And you can't do that if you get bogged down playing video games weeks on end. Because when I get into video games, man, life does nothing outside of that matters. I get that engrossed into it, and I can't afford that. It's like a drug to me because I do love them. They're a beautiful art form that mixes film, art, music, and like actual gameplay. Like I'm physically controlling things all into one. That's fascinating. It's amazing. We live in an amazing age that we can play games like that and really feel the realism of a world that somebody has created for us. Shadow of Colossus was always a favorite of mine. I did enjoy that game when I played it because the combat dynamics was interesting. You get to like climb up the backs of these like monsters. You had to hit the buttons at the right time. And it really felt like you were fighting these gigantic things. That's what I felt like Skyrim was missing. Is as big as it was, it never felt like you made any real impact in the game. Like you're the Dragonborn walking around like level 90. You can kill people with your thumb and the guards still treat you like shit. Like you never really made an impact. They didn't rebuild some of the cities. The AI wasn't that great. Then again, it's an old game, but fighting dragons was kind of lame in that game. As much as I love Skyrim, it was just like wait for them to land, bash the shit out of their heads. I love that aspect of like Shadow of Colossus where you could like fucking climb up these fucking things using your daggers and then get onto their head and start fucking, and you had to hit the buttons the right direction. Darksiders had that too, that element where you had to, and Dante's Inferno had that. Dante's Inferno was great. I loved playing that game, going through hell and then fucking fighting the big monsters and shit, and had to hit the buttons at the right time to fucking have him slice them all up. It was cool. Did someone steal your sweet roll? I've heard of you and your honeyed words. I got tired of hearing that one. you level up your speechcraft enough, and before you know it, you walk into town. It doesn't matter how powerful you are. It doesn't matter if you saved the fucking world. You killed Alduin. You're the hero of fucking Skyrim. And you walk into a town, and they're like, I've heard of you and your honeyed words. Yeah, Darksiders was great. I really enjoyed Darksiders. And the first Dragon Age, I fucking loved it, man. I really did. Dragon Age Origins was fun. I love the world they created, the Darkspawn that was so interesting and fun. You know, I love the dynamic of actually like creating relationships with the NPC followers. You know, and possibly getting into like romance and eventually like they all had their own little storylines. I felt Inquisition did that pretty well, but Inquisition is boring as fuck otherwise. Like I hated Inquisition after about 40 hours. Like it was fun until you had to go to like all the desert lands, and it's just like I'm running around in the fucking desert. They tried to sell that game like it's bigger than any Dragon Age. It's 10 times the size. It's bigger than Skyrim. It has all these worlds you can go and explore. And yet like half of the lands you go and run around in have fucking nothing in it. It's just sand dune after sand dune, you know? Fucking hell. Like I felt like the relationships and the growth of the story between like interpersonal relationships, depending on who you tried to fall in love with or who you just talked to become friends and played out their individual little quests, was really well done. The rest of the game was really lacking. It was the rest of the game that fucking sucked eventually. And their version of like smithing and forging and all that stuff, boy, they never tried that before in a Dragon Age game, is to be able to craft your own stuff. Boy, that was some bullshit. God, that was the worst crafting system I've ever seen in a fucking video game, in a fantasy RPG. I like open world, but you have to fill it with content too. Jesus. Hyped for the next Elder Scrolls? Yeah, I've been hyped for the next Elder Scrolls for the past 13 years. Or however long it's been out. Jesus Christ. I mean, like, I thought they were going to make a big announcement at the EA thing, you know, like Bethesda was there. And it was like, fuck. I thought they were going to announce a new single player Elder Scrolls game, because they've been doing the Elder Scrolls online forever now. But you know me, I don't like MMOs. So I've been waiting for the next single player Skyrim game. And I thought they were going to announce it. And what did they announce? Skyrim is coming back on the Wii. You know? Like they were like, we're just going to rehash it for the newest consoles. Congratulations, you get Skyrim again. It's like, come on, we want the new game, you fucktards. You've already made like 2 Fallouts. What's taking you so long with the next Elder Scrolls? Charles Fowler asked, what book inspired Magog in his world? I don't quite know what you're asking. Are you asking like what I created to inspire his world, or what books I've read in the past that inspired me? If it's the second question, everything from Tolkien to the Inheritance series. You know, I read when I was younger anyway. I don't have a lot of time to read either, but I read a lot of fantasy. I read quite a few fantasy books, and that all inspired me. I love the world. Casey Beardman on Streamlabs says, keep up the good work. Thanks, Casey. But as far as the book that actually inspired the world is a book that I'm writing myself. So I've been writing this book for about 5 years. And when I created the YouTube channel and created Magog, I wanted the double M, the Hollywood M's. And so I was trying to think of a kingdom name, and then I remembered the book that I was writing for the past 5 years, working on the history of the world and everything before I even wrote the story. And I have this huge outline of like 4,000 years of history and all these things that happened leading up to the story I was going to write. And one of the kingdoms in that outline was Morskar. And so I was like, there's that M. I love it. Magog Morskar. Boom. Use it. And then, because honestly, I didn't think the channel would do anything. I thought I would fail utterly, even though I spent money getting a good set built because I don't half-ass things. I spent $3,000 to start a YouTube channel, had no idea if it'd work out. I mean, it was like, is this even going to fucking work? You know? But when it started to work and people got interested in the world, I was like, oh, fuck. Because it actually, the world that Magog lives in, that I borrowed for Magog, is actually a very serious world. Like, it was supposed to be a serious fantasy. It had nothing to do with comedy. The fact that Magog ended up being a comedy thing was a whole separate idea. I wanted to get on YouTube and speak my mind and talk and stuff. And the fact that now people are asking me about the world, I'm like, do you guys really want to know about the world? Because it isn't funny. It's a very serious, dramatic story with a massive history. You know, this world has a massive history. There's 1,000 years of the Elven Empire alone, you know? So, come watch Magog and Beardy open a can Shakespearean whoop ass on Dr. Seuss Green Eggs and Ham. I have no idea what you're referring to, but awesome. 3 months and all I have is a rock, a very big magical rock. I don't know what that means, but it's funny. The Inheritance series is awesome. I mean, there were definitely plot holes because he was so young when he wrote that. I think he wrote Aragon when he was like 16. But it was really engrossing and I enjoyed it. I would have written some things different, but I still really enjoyed it. The movie was balls. That was a fucking failure. The CGI for the dragon was great, and that was the only thing good about it. Like, that fucking movie blew cock big time. The Aragon movie, supposed to be based on the first book. Nothing happened in that movie. That was the the love interest in the movie wasn't even a fucking elf. Whatever. I Fear Gas says, I'd love to learn more about the world you made. Yeah, I know. I plan on doing the lore videos, but like I said, I've been putting that off because I want to do it the right way. But even if I do it the right way with all the artwork and the music and Magog telling the stories, I don't know if people like it. Because like I said, it's not funny. A lot of shit happened in this world that's fucking horrible. You know? The Wasatch Jackalope says, I'm heading to bed. Been a hell of a week. Good night, everyone. Good night, Dark Lord. Yeah, good night, mate. Have a good one. Thanks for coming by. I'd love to know more about the world, Magog. In the comedy sense, I really get the Holy Grail vibe. That's what Paramamel says. Yeah. If I wanted to, essentially the sitcom will be probably a lot like that. But then again, I don't know. I might try to mix comedy with actual drama and stuff. Because I also like that juxtaposition. It's that idea of, here's this very serious world where all kinds of dark things happen. And there's, and then insert the court jester, if you will. So here comes Magog in this very serious situation and just kind of muddles about and fucks up, you know. But I don't know. Like, I do like the idea of kind of mixing all of it, you know, because like that's what I think is why the Marvel movies do so good. They're serious. They have, you know, danger and action and stuff, but then you get those really great comedic lines from like Tony Stark and stuff. The Guardians of the Galaxy was the same way, you know. This movie isn't going to suck because of me. Jeremy Irons on the set of Aragon. Yep. Grimdark is the best type of fantasy. I'm sure it would be popular. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to give it a shot. Like I said, there's still going to be comedy elements because it's Magog, but if he's telling the lore of the world and going back in the history, there's little comedy there unless Magog interjects his own comedy. But the world I created over the past like 5 years ago when I started this thing was meant to build a very serious fantasy novel having to do with the children of Ithaca, who were, you know, like chosen champions of a goddess, the goddess of Ithaca. And it was going to be called Shadows of Ithaca. And it was all about, it took place in the time frame on the timeline of world events in the world. It took place at, I'd say there's about a 600-year period where the entirety of the North was ruled over by vampires, vampire kings, and other eldritch creatures that were created by the eldritch keystone, or the heart of Ithaca. So tired of superheroes. Yeah, I agree. Some of it's getting a little rehashed, you know. So yeah, like the idea was to write a book about a single part in a single story that happens in this small time frame of thousands of years of history, but also introduce a multitude of other books as lore just to build up the main novel that people could read and learn about the world and the history of it and all the different cultures and the rise and fall of the Elven Dominion and the enslavement of the elves after the fall of the Elven Empire, and things like that. Like it starts with the realm of the gods and the war they had, because it was, you know, the night gods and the day gods are kind of eventually go to war with each other and create this whole fucking thing where they end up creating other life forms to fight for them in the Great War. And that was elves and humans and orcs and goblins and all that stuff, you know. And then going from that all the way through, once the gods won the war and ascended to the heavens and left the mortal realm to their creations, they all just it kind of goes from there, you know. Hey Melissa, how you doing? Vermidius. Hello Magog. Hello am I saying that right? Vermidius. Immersing in that sort of lore is fantastic. Some would agree, but I think that the main bulk of my audience that watches Magog are not as hardcore as you guys. You know, like you guys subscribe to my live stream channel, and so that tells me that you're kind of more the more immersive fans who want to know all the stuff. But your average watcher of mine, of the thousands of people that watch my episodes when I upload them, they probably would find it boring or stupid and not watch it, you know. I don't know. Got Beardy's vid out, working on Omegles now. Cool. I will have to go over to your channel and watch that and see what you did for Beardy. Would you consider having sponsors? Yeah, I would, but I don't know much about all that. So, sorry, something on my mic was bothering me. There's one for sale in Norway for $600. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but that's interesting. Mayfair wins always take you to where you need to go, and the gods always be in your favor. Till next time, my lord. Thanks, man. Have a good night. Heavy fisted to the living. Neil's in the chat. It would have to be done as Stort time with Magog. Story time, I think, is what he means. Yeah, something like that. I think would be cool. Story time with Magog. Maybe even have Poe tell some of the stories too. Because I was talking to my friend earlier about that too, and I think it would be great to be like, to have Poe be like, "Once upon a time, in a faraway land." Are you asleep yet? Because I'm already bored. All praise be unto the fell-touched, blind, deviant necromancer, even if he is a slacker, even if he doesn't know chronomancy. Yeah. There are a lot of fantasy fans if they find you. Yeah, that's the audience I was trying to tap, but I know that not a lot of them are finding me, and my videos don't get shared all that much, and they don't get re-uploaded or anything like that, or spread around the other, social medias as much. And because I have been doing mostly response videos to political and social ideologies, it's very limited in how many fantasy fans actually click on it. Now, if I was just kind of a general comedy show where I was doing skits and stuff, which is where I want to go with the Magog sitcom, I think I would get a much bigger audience because they wouldn't be hit in the face with all my, political talk and, and stuff. You need to read The Raven in Poe's voice. Yeah, I do need to get around to doing that. I actually have my collection of Poe back here. It's a 5-book collection of Edgar Allan Poe. And the printing date was, if I remember right, these are fragile. Where's the print date on this? 1903 by P.F. Collier and Sons. It's very small, but it's the print date. And these are very, very old. The Life of Poe, The Adventures of Hans Pfaall. I don't know which one of these books has the Raven in it, but one of them does. The Gold Bug. 4 Beasts in One. Ooh, here's a good one. The Murders in the Rue Morgue. That's a classic, right? Yeah. Yeah, people forget too that Poe wasn't only a poet. He actually wrote stories too. Yes. The mental features discoursed of as the analytical are in themselves but little susceptible of analysis. We appreciate them only in their effects. We know of them, among other things, that they are always to their possessor, when inordinately possessed, a source of the liveliest enjoyment. But if I remember right, I at least remember the last lines of the Raven. If I remember right, it's and the raven, never flitting, still is sitting upon the pallid bust of Pallas above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the dream. Oh, damn, I fucked it up. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming. It's tongue twister. Fucking poetry, man. Let me start again. And the raven still is sitting upon the pallid bust of Pallas above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming. The lamplight over him, streaming, cast his shadow on the floor. And my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore. Casey Beardman says, keep reading. Y'all seriously don't want to sit there and listen to me fucking recite Poe. Edgar Allan Poe in the Poe voice. Allocution is very difficult. Allocution is very difficult, especially when you're really trying to fucking talk in a different voice too. Like it's difficult. Never bet the devil in your head. Thou art the man. I love that. Thou art the man. Instead of you the man. Edgar Allan Poe. Thou art the man. I will now play the Oedipus to the Rattenborough enigma. I will expound to you, as I alone can, the secret of the engineering. Engineering? The fuck Goddamn old ass 1900s words that affected the Rattleboro miracle. The one, the true, the admitted, the undisputed, the indisputable miracle which put a definite end to the infidelity among the Rattleboros and converted to the orthodox of the Grand Dames all the carnal-minded who had ventured to be skeptical before. Please do some Poe as a video. Here's some shekels. Dragon in the West. Thank you. Thou ist a man. Shouted at Riley. Thou ist a man. That's funny. Yeah. Good stuff. Some words with a mummy. Ooh, yeah. Oh, here's poems. Here's actual poems. There we go. The poetic principle. Old English poetry. The works of Edgar Allan Poe poems. The noblest of her sex. The drama of exile, Miss Elizabeth Barrett Barrett. I dedicate this volume with the most enthusiastic admiration and with the most sincere esteem. Edgar Allan Poe. Nice. I am terrible at reading poetry because it's about cadence, man. Of all who hail thy presence as the morning, of all to whom thine absence is the night, the blotting utterly from out high heaven, the sacred sun of all who weeping bless thee, hourly for hope, for life, above all, for the resurrection of deep-buried faith, in truth, in virtue, in humanity. Of all who on despair's unhallowed bed, lying down to die, have suddenly arisen, at thy soft murmured words, let there be light. At thy soft murmured words that were fulfilled in the seraphic glancing of thine eyes, of all who owe thee most, whose gratitude nearest resembles worship, oh, remember the truest, the most fervently devoted, and think that these weak lines are written by him who, as he pens them, thrills to think his spirit is communing with an angel's. God, that's hard to do. All right, I'm done. Dream within a dream. Y'all find it funny I do the Poe voice, right? So anyway, yeah, I definitely want to tell stories and expand, you know, don't get me wrong, but you know, I like I said, I just never thought it was a thing that I can do within a certain amount of time. It's going to have to be like every once in a while when I can sit down and do all the work. So, but bravo, encore. Thank you, Casey. Let me check my Streamlabs real quick. It's been a minute since I've done that. Let's see if there's anything over there just to be sure. Nope. Okay. 92 people watching me read poetry from Poe in the Poe voice. Oh, man. What's even worse is like read like H.P. Lovecraft. That guy, I love Lovecraft. I really do. But God damn, the way he was so formulaic with his words, very, very choice. And that guy was wordy. He's like the king of run-on sentences. I could probably pull up some, because at this point, like H.P. Lovecraft stuff is free. Oh man, alphabetical order. Here he is, the alchemist at the Mountains of Madness, Azathoth. Beast of a Cave. Here we go. Mountains of Madness. That's awesome. God, this is... Whew. I'm going to have to zoom in. Man, they put that... I can imagine like Magog reading Lovecraft. Boy, he is a wordy motherfucker. Let me find a good sentence in the Mountains of Madness. It's got to be to where they actually discover the creatures. Here we go. There's a good one. This is all one sentence. What should I do? The Magog voice? Or I'll try the Magog voice. Still another time have I come to a place where it is very difficult to proceed. I ought to be hardened by this age, but there are some experiences and intimate... Oh, God damn, see? There are some experiences and intimations which scar too deeply to permit of healing, and leave only such an added sensitiveness that memory re-inspires all the original horror. That's all one sentence. And he uses them fucking old words, man, like intimations. Like, I don't even know what that fucking means. That's not used in common parlance anymore. We saw, as I have said, certain obstructions on the polished floor ahead, and I may add that our nostrils were assailed almost simultaneously by a very curious intensification of the strange prevailing fator. No, quite plainly mixed with the nameless stench of those others which had gone before us. I probably spit a little bit too. The light of the second torch left no doubt of what the obstructions were, and we dared approach them only because we could see, even from a distance, that they were quite as past all harming power as had been the 6 similar specimens unearthed from the monstrous, star-mounded graves at Poor Lake's camp. Oh, man. What a fucking writer. It's weird because Lovecraft doesn't necessarily write scary. Like, it's psychological. Like, you read it, and because it's also kind of beyond us, like a lot of the language we don't use anymore, you end up having to like kind of go back and read it again. Sometimes you miss some things or whatever, but you read it. And if you suffer through it long enough to get hooked, because he doesn't hook you right at the beginning. He's a very particular writer. You read it and you don't really think much about it. And then when you're done reading one of the stories, you close the book and you're like, man, that was a fucking mouthful of words and all this and that. But then you like go to bed, right? And then like 10 minutes into trying to fall asleep, just creeps into your mind what you just read. And it finally just kind of clicks. And before you know it, you're sitting there going, that was some fucking weird shit. Was that a noise? Did I hear? The fuck did I just hear in my room? You know, like it really messes with your head. I love Lovecraft for that. Then the nightmares come. Yes, indeed. So Lovecraft was the first guy to invent the concept of the earworm. I don't know if he was or not, but he definitely was the first to invent the word Necronomicon, which has been used in like the Evil Dead movies and countless other movies. The Necronomicon was a book written by the mad Arab Alhazared, and it was never a word before Lovecraft invented it. Magog needs his own Gollum juice to keep his voice good. Yeah, I've got to start inventing something that's thick and Helps relieve my throat. Probably quitting smoking would help too. I need to do that anyway. Girls don't like to kiss ashtrays, and they're expensive. So that's what my mom says. Girls don't like to kiss ashtrays. So I've tried vape. It doesn't work. Just makes me smoke again. Oh, I can't stand Jägermeister. That's because I drank Jägermeister profusely on my 19th birthday, and I had such a bad night, and it turned my stomach so bad drinking so much of it. I had a whole bottle to myself at a party for my 19th birthday. I got so drunk off of that I grabbed other bottles of booze trying to get even more drunk, and I was out of it by then. My friends had to tell me this, and I was like trying to down what was left of like the rum and, you know, everything. They were yanking bottles out of my hand, and so I wandered into the kitchen, and they were like, okay, he's fine, let him walk it off. And I grabbed a bottle of soy sauce out of the kitchen cabinet and tried to drink it, apparently thinking it was booze. And that made me throw up because it's soy sauce, and I threw up all this Jägermeister soy sauce mixed together, and because it was so salty, it dehydrated me. I was already dehydrated from the alcohol, and I literally just threw up solid. Like there was no liquid in my body whatsoever. So it was just like like it wasn't like splash, it was like you know. And yeah, apparently I drank myself kind of blind that night too, because I was sitting there and my friend was slapping the shit out of me trying to wake me up. He didn't want me passing out, and he was slapping the shit out of me. And my buddy Jason, I'll never forget this, man, because it was the only part I remember, because he was slapping me so hard, I guess my brain woke up, and I was slapping me, and my haze was milky. I was so drunk, and he's just whack, whack, and I was like, I can't see, and he just stops for a split second, goes, seeing's for women. Whack, whack, and it just started slapping the shit out of me again. Oh man, that was funny. So I'll never forget that. My buddy Jay, man, he's slapping the shit out of me, and I go, I can't see it. He goes, seeing's for women. Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull that line as Magog. You know, maybe I'll find a video where it'll come up and somebody will be like, you know, somebody will say something about seeing, or you know, something, and it'll cut to Magog, and he'll go, "Seeing's for women." Yeah, I had awesome friends. I have awesome friends. All my friends I've known for years and still friends with. You know. But my 19th birthday wasn't even legal to drink, and I was fucked up, like big time, man. That was bad. It was one of those nights too, where like my friend, he went and got his wife's dildo, and it was one of those dildos that looked like a real penis, had balls on it and everything. And it was apparently brand new out of the box, and he was running around the party slapping the girls with it on their face, and they were running and screaming and shit. And that's how that ended up out on the party. And then I got up to take a piss. Once again, this is something my friends had to tell me. And I go walking, I'm stumbling, and it's like, I gotta go take a leak. And my buddy, without missing a beat, like grabbed the dildo and was like, you can't piss without your dick. And sure enough, I'm standing there at the toilet with his dick going, it's not working. And I'm pissing in my pants. Just fucking pissing down my leg. Hold this fucking dildo. Oh man. Oh, those are good times. Those were good times. Man, I don't get drunk like that anymore. I really don't. I've had so many of those nights that eventually, especially after Iraq, I was drinking for all the wrong reasons. And so I kind of gave up drinking, going out partying and stuff. I'm not an alcoholic. I didn't, take a 12-step program or anything. I decided it was best for me if I didn't go to the pub every fucking night. And so now I've just got it to where I'll have a beer, or, a glass of wine, or a couple, nice glasses of scotch or something when I feel like it, but I don't drink a lot anymore because I know I can get addicted to it again, and I can have those nights. So, yeah, that's a couple of the funny stories from my life. I'm a really weird guy when it comes to alcohol too. Like my body doesn't process alcohol the right way, so it actually makes me hallucinate if I get too drunk. And I actually hallucinate things like people that aren't really there and things moving that aren't really moving and things like that. And so, there's time at the lake where, I was up at the lake, we were drinking with buddies. I got so shit faced, I started yelling at the people standing on the lake because they wouldn't stop chanting some sort of strange language. And so I got up from the fire, we were sitting around the fire, and yeah, shut the fuck up, and I started running towards the cliffs that dropped down into the lake. My friends had to tackle me. They're like, what the fuck, man? And I'm like, get them, shut up, shut them up. And they're like, who? So yeah, if I get way too drunk, I hallucinate like I'm on a drug, So yeah. Somebody says, shut up, Jesus. Damn Jesus walking on water, So, yeah, it's weird shit like that, I like there was one time at a house party we were having, and I jumped after the football because I thought, like it was a fumble and I was going to take it to the end zone. There was no football in the room. Like I was diving after nothing. And I was like on the ground, like, I've got it. I've got it. And everybody's like, all my friends are like, you're fucking retarded, Jeremy. Bitching Witch says, my buddy was drunk one night, went to bed, and later stood up in bed and started pissing all over his girlfriend. When she yelled at him, he said, if you don't like it, bitch, go sleep on the couch. That's pretty fucked up. Lavender possibly gives a $5 super chat. Doesn't say anything, but thank you very much. Are you sure you're not a really real wizard? Drugs are bad, okay? Yeah, I've had a lot of times because I grew up in the South here in Arkansas, man. It's like, what else are you going to do? You hung out with your friends and you got drunk. Ever since I was 16 years old, we drank. That's what we did. We hung out and we drank and we smoked cigarettes and we went fishing, or we worked on a car and then got drunk, or we go shoot guns and then got drunk. Sometimes we'd shoot off fireworks or guns while drunk. Not the best idea. I don't do that anymore. Nobody shoots guns on my property who've been drinking. You drink after you're done shooting. You don't do that. Yeah, I bet that guy was single when he woke up too. Oh yeah. No. I had a friend of mine who he's never going to do 69 again because a girl did that to him. It was the other thing though. She was on top, facing that way, giving him a blowjob, and he was like this, and she was drunk, and she laid a log right on his forehead, man. She shit right on his fucking forehead. He's gonna hate me for telling that live. Luckily, I didn't say his name. Ever got so drunk you started chatting with Magog? Yes. No. He is a figment of my imagination, Fright Power Ranger. Oh, that's gross. Oh, I just grossed everybody out. Yep. Oh, that's funny. I just ate a burrito. Thank you. Well, have fun. Oh, man. Well, he's paranoid of that shit, So I was never the handsome guy of my group or anything, so I never got girls after me. Like we'd have a house party at the car club. I was part of a car club, and we'd street race and then we'd have big parties and stuff. And I always had more handsome friends than me, I guess, because especially my Italian friend. He was just a ladies' man all the way, man. When we all lived in a house together, I come home one day and he was banging this chick on our pool table. Pissed me off because I paid $1,000 for that pool table, you know? And he's like, oh, they took off running when they heard the front door open, you know? They ran into the bathroom. And then I came in and started banging on the door. I was like, you motherfucker! He's like, what, man? I put a towel down. I was like, that's not the point. Casey Beardman says, great stream, man. I was kind of bummed out earlier and was going to go to bed early. Oh, I'm glad I could entertain you. That's why I had a pool table, says Rev. Of course it is. The balls were clanking all around. And I'm not talking about the pool balls. I've seen a woman shit while giving birth. Keep going. You've got my attention. No, that's pretty normal, actually. The worst thing I saw, I didn't physically see it. I saw the videotape because my friend was one of those weird people that videotaped the birth of his child. And he was like, watch this part, man. This is the part where he wasn't coming out, his son. And he's like, and so the doctor snipped the skin between my wife's vagina and asshole to make the hole wider. And sure enough, I'm sitting there, I'm like watching this fucking grotesque video, and the doctor comes in and goes, and all this blood goes everywhere, and all this shit comes out, and the hole goes, and that fucking baby was like, just starts screaming, and he's like, it's so beautiful, and she's screaming bloody fucking murder, you know. And I'm sitting there, I'm watching this fucking horror show going, oh my God, did he just cut her fucking taint? Like, oh, her fucking asshole and vagina are one right now. Holy fuck. He's like, I told the doctor to put an extra couple stitches in, make it tighter. I was like, you sick fuck. Melissa says, I had a 30-minute birth with my oldest, didn't tear at anything. Well, you were fucking lucky. Backfry says, Jesus, man, you win. Holy shit, I surrender. Did the same to my wife, says Cult of Lich. Yeah, that they have to do it sometimes. They have to. I guess his head was too big or something, and he just wasn't, her contractions were not big enough because she's a littler woman too, you know. So, yeah, C-sections are interesting. I actually heard things where women prefer C-sections so they don't have to go through the pain of giving birth and just cut the baby out, sew her back up, you know. But then you get the C-section scar. I've seen a couple strippers in my time with C-section scars. Oh, man, I have been around the world and seen some fucked up shit. Yep, I've heard that too. C-sections are brutal. Well, of course they are, because it's not natural and you're cutting through the abdomen muscles. So the fucking pain and the healing time, you gotta, like, all your fucking abdomen muscles gotta heal and everything. Quality strippers. The stripper that possibly gave a buddy of mine in the military something terrible had a C-section scar. My tech school was in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and we got a base, you know, I got to a level in tech school that I could leave the base, and we went off base for this kid's 21st birthday. He was part of our unit, and we went to the strip club. I don't know what strip club, somewhere in Fort Leonard Wood. And I was at that strip club, and he's sitting there on the edge, you know, like he's 21, can finally get into a place and fucking drink and see naked women. And he's sitting there, and he's fucking on the edge of his fucking on the edge of the stage, and she's up there dancing, and her titties are out, and you know, I mean, she wasn't terrible looking, but she wasn't great either, you know, and she had the C-section scar and shit and a few stretch marks, you know, that she kind of covered up with some makeup or something. You could tell they were a little faded. And she's sitting there dancing, and she gets all low, and she's like, we're all like, it's his birthday. Yeah, we're all drinking and stuff. And he's sitting there and just, you know, here's them titties in his face. You know, he's a fucking young kid, virgin type, you know. And she's like, oh, it's your birthday, sweetie. And she's all dancing and shit right in front of him. And she gets down real low, you know. She's squatting, you know, and she's dancing. Her fucking tits are right in his face. And he's like, yeah, it's my birthday. You know, his mouth wide open. She goes, oh, well, happy birthday. Sticks her finger in her pussy and goes right into his mouth. We were like, yeah. He was like, He was like so surprised he didn't even like do anything, and she danced off to another, customer or whatever. And we were like, "Oh my god!" We were like, "Run to the bathroom!" We were like washing his fucking mouth out in the sink. We put his mouth over the blow dryer. He was like, we drove him home. We're like, "Wash your mouth out with fucking peroxide right now." Oh, I don't even know why I'm telling you guys all these stories. Greetings, Magog. I love your man cave. It looks absolutely amazing. Thank you, Rothvik. This is the set. This is the Magog set. Herpes. Yeah, I don't know if because he was just in my unit in tech school. Once I got shipped off to England, I never saw him again. So I don't know if he got anything from it, but that was gross. She was like, "Happy birthday." Oh man. More stories. I'm gonna burn through all my life stories in one stream, and then you guys will fucking find me boring after that, But yeah, I've been around the world, saw all kinds of stuff. Merck says my buddy went off post at Redstone Arsenal, got pink eye when a stripper farted in his eyes. See? I'm not making this up. This shit happens, people. Strippers do some weird shit sometimes. Just saying. I had a friend of mine in Texas went home with a stripper. We all went to the strip club, and he was one of my staff. I think he was a staff sergeant at the time. He might have been a senior airman at the time, but we were done with convoy training and got a good weekend off before having to go to Iraq. And so we all went to the strip club, and it was before my parents come down to visit, on our graduation and stuff, and then to see us before we shipped off. So I got one good weekend before my parents came into town. We all went to the strip club. I can't remember what it was called. It was in San Antonio. Oh man, what was the name of that fucking strip club? Anyway, there was this hot redhead stripper, man. She was all over us because we had money to spend. We were military, man. We're fucking, and my friend gave her hundreds of dollars, man. He was on to her, man. He loved redheads, and she got off work that night, and he's like, "I'm going back, man. I'm going to go talk to her." And I was like, "Do it, man," because she was flirting with him the whole time. And here I am thinking, she's a stripper. Her job is to flirt with you, you dumbass. Let's go, And they're like, "No, I'm going back." And so he went back, and man, he went home with her. And like an hour later, we got a phone call, and he was like, "I don't know where I'm at." And we were like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "Please help me. Like, for the love of God, please help me." And so, he was on a cell phone that he borrowed from somebody on the street, and it was the middle of the night in San Antonio, Texas. And it was like 3 a.m, and we went driving around trying to find the street that he was describing to us. And he finally found a street sign, and we GPS'd our way there, and we finally saw him, and he was standing on the edge of the street in a fucking white shirt and boxers and socks, no shoes, nothing. He bailed out of that place fucking fast. He got in the he got in the rental car, and he was like, "Oh my God, I thought she was going to find me." And we were like, "What the fuck? Did he like come across some serial killer or something?" Turned out this redheaded girl, man, she was in some freaky shit. He got back to her place. They started off hot and heavy. And then before he even realized it, because he was drunk a little bit, he was handcuffed to a box spring up against the wall, like not laying down, but it was like mounted to the wall with all the springs of the box spring showing. And she had a car battery hooked to that motherfucker and was like shocking his nipples and shit. And he used all his strength to like break them handcuffs away just when she was pulling out the whip. Started like whipping his titties, like his man boobs. Like she was like whipping his nipples after she was shocking him with a car battery, or some sort of big battery. I don't know if it was a car battery or not, but that's what he described to us. And, the electricity was flowing through the springs. So they were like, and he was like, "Please stop." And she's like, "You have to say the safe word," because apparently he was drunk enough to agree to a safe word and then couldn't remember it. And he broke. He had handcuffs on when we picked him up. He had fuzzy handcuffs. He broke the fucking chains on him because they were meant for sex, I guess, so they weren't real handcuffs. They were like toy ones, and she broke them. He broke them and ran the fuck out of there. Didn't even get his pants, his shoes, nothing. He jumped out the window and just found himself wandering somewhere in San Antonio in his boxers. His shirt wasn't even his. He had to fucking some guy on the street gave him a fucking wife beater out of his car and let him use his cell phone. Yeah, they do. The handcuffs they sell at like sex shops and stuff. I mean, I guess some of them are real, the heavy hardcore bondage people, but most of them are what's called safety handcuffs, which means they have just a latch on them that if you latch it, it'll come unhooked, and it's made out of a cheaper metal. They're not going to be police handcuffs that you can't fucking break or open without a key. Like they're going to be safety ones, you know, because people, it's a kink, but you have to feel safe too, or whatever have you, you know. Of course, there's the hardcore ones who use real handcuffs. I'm not saying you can't buy real handcuffs. I'm just saying those in the story were obvious, like stripper handcuffs that are used to, you know, they're just toys for the most part. They're made of a cheap aluminum. You can break them pretty easy if you really panic and pull hard enough. You'll break the chains on them. So, oh yeah, love redheads, but damn, I've heard stories. Yeah. I do too, but man, I'm not into all that shit. You want to hook me up to a box spring and shock the shit out of me? I'm going to have to say no. Oh, man. Yeah, we had a lot of good times, man. I'm sitting here basically talking to you guys. Like, I don't even have a guest on. Like, I have nobody to actually respond to. I'm just kind of monologuing. This is my first time monologuing this long. Usually 30 minutes in the stream, somebody pops in the chat and I send the link, but this is kind of fun. It's good practice too. I haven't really done this for this long. You know, I think if I ever wanted to start like a podcast or something, I need to get used to this. So it feels good. I know some of you might want to pop on the show and have a talk with me, but I just kind of felt like monologuing with you guys for a little bit. Hey, Magog, do you have a Discord? I do. I don't use it. Like I said, Failure set that up for me months ago, and I still haven't really figured it out. And I don't have time these days anyway. I'm barely on social media as long as I'm in school. But I'll learn it better once school's done, and I'll put the link out on Twitter to join the Discord or whatever, and try to pay more attention to all the social medias, not just Twitter. You'd have to pay me good fucking money to get shocked as foreplay. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I have some funny stories, but my thing is I tell them funny. But I'm sure that people like Ghastly and AP and Beardbarian and, you know, the other people on YouTube probably have way worse stories than me, guys. I guess I'm just kind of good at telling them, you know. I was the idiot who stuck a knife in the outlet as a kid. I did that. Yeah, I did that. But mine wasn't a knife. It was keys. I got a hold of car keys and did it. It was the 80s. We didn't have those plastic things that went into fucking light sockets. Support your local wizard. Streamlabs. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me. I haven't checked my Streamlabs in a minute. Let me do that. I've told a couple stories. I don't want to neglect people on Streamlabs, and I am going to figure out how to make that that thing where, like, on OBS, where like when people donate to Streamlabs, it plays a little tune and shows a GIF or whatever, and pops up on the screen. Yep. What are you saying? You have good money? Well, I mean, if you want a redhead that's going to shock your nipples, I'm sure if you have money, man, there's going to be one out there for you. Oh, that's Heidi. Girl, lady. I don't want to assume your gender. Browser source? I don't know what that is. Electric fences are fun. They can be. It always reminds me of that Ren and Stimpy episode where they play the board game, Don't Whiz on the Electric Fence. Ah, I dared a kid in sixth grade to stick scissors in the classroom electrical socket. His eyebrows got burned off, and I got detention. That's always a good time. Yeah, my friend got his eyebrows burned off for a wholly different reason. We were camping. I have a ton of camping stories. We were camping in Heber Springs, like we always did when we were younger. And I had a friend of mine who was a crazy asshole, crazy redneck fucking asshole. And we were getting drunk around the fire and decided, we were joking and laughing and all that stuff. And he got all excited or something. He's like, let's make the fire bigger, get gasoline. And I was like, no, don't get gasoline. No, we're not doing that today. We're not doing that. We got people over in the other campsites. They'll probably report us and all this and that. And he's like, fuck that. Where's the gasoline canister? I'm like, we don't have a gasoline canister. This ain't your backyard, motherfucker. Right? So he goes and grabs this can of off bug spray and throws it in the fire while we're all sitting there around it talking. He's like, clink, clink, and it's sitting there right on the burning logs, right? Just this can of off bug spray. We freaked out. Oh shit, we're running, ducking behind trees and shit. And he's sitting there drunk off his ass, just standing next to him. We're like, get the fuck out of there. Holy shit, man, get the fuck out. I'll make up a name. Mike. Get out of there, Mike. Get out of there. And he's like, it's not exploding. So he grabs the hatchet that we were using to split logs with to make logs for the fire. And he grabs this hatchet and he's like, clink. He's hitting the can with his hatchet in the fire. And he goes, we're like, don't fucking do that. We're all hiding behind trees and shit. And finally he hits it. And I guess he hit it just right and punctured a hole in it because it was starting to weaken from the flames. And this big fuck off green flame was just like whoosh out of that can of off spray. And it burned all the hair off his arm and all the hair off the side of his face, including his one eyebrow and this side of his beard. So he had like one beard over here. The rest of it was like singed and smoking. And he was like, ah! And he fell over and his skin was red. He's sitting there rolling on the ground like, that was a really bad idea. So after we got done beating his ass, so he walked away with, hair gone and slight burns, and also beat his ass for being such a fucking idiot. We took him, we fucking went to sleep, and the next day he woke up and he's like, what even happened last night? We're like, you fell. Yeah, he blew up the campfire. Singed all the hair off his arms and his fucking eyebrow and everything. Oh man. Seen a guy pouring gasoline with a lit cigarette. Tell me not to worry as a teen. Actually, the chances of a lit cigarette lighting gas is pretty slim. There's just not a hot enough flame on the end of a cigarette. They did that on Mythbusters. They dropped cigarettes. They had a robotic arm dropping cigarettes into buckets filled with gasoline, and it did nothing. It's still not a good idea, though, because it could still happen. You're definitely increasing your chances. Don't go trying that at home, kids. There were no bugs left in a 30-foot radius. No, yeah, it definitely smelled like fucking bug spray for the whole night. Burnt bug spray. I never thought I'd know what burnt bug spray smells like, but fuck me, I live in Arkansas. What do you want? Yeah, it's not the gasoline itself that ignites, it's the fumes. And it requires according to Cult of Lich here, it requires a correct mix of air to gas as well as the spark. Yeah. That's relatively true, but then at the same time, a cigarette dropped into a bucket of gasoline probably won't explode it. But somebody not grounding themselves on a cold night when they get out to pump gas and the static electricity comes off their fingers when they touch something metal will fucking ignite the goddamn fumes coming out of their tank. So I've seen videos of that fucking happen. And then the idiots grab the nozzle and pull it out of the car, and it just starts shooting fire everywhere. They drop it and they run, It's like, oh, fucking idiot. There was only one time that we did something as crazy as what you're talking about. I used to be able to drink 12 shots of vodka, never saw shit. We do bullet shots now and again when I was younger, and that was really stupid. That was where you take a you take we the first time we did it with 22 long rifles, and we put them in a shot of Jack Daniels and toss it back, swallow the bullet with it. But we learned that that could give you lead poisoning. So, uh, what's weird is you just shit the bullet out. It's not like it explodes in your stomach or something. Like you just, you know. But we were being men. We were learning where our limits were. You know. Not fake news, redneck news. Yeah, that's true. Yep. Yeah, we did some crazy shit, man. We did some crazy shit. We used to take a frog gig with us fishing, and it wasn't for frogs because it's a long 12-inch pole with prongs on it to stab frogs from the bank, you know. But those prongs are what the reason we bring a frog gig, because the snakes, the water moccasins, cottonmouths would come up out of the water right at our feet every fucking time. So we use the frog gig to kill snakes. The villains in The Crow do that at the beginning, and I never understood why. We didn't understand why either. That's probably where we got it from, to be honest with you. I don't remember why. You know, we did it because I was drunk. It was be manly, I guess. You know, let's drink bullets. I burnt an eyebrow off once just using a potato gun. I oversaturated the chambers of the hairspray and thought my spark plug had broke. Nope, just needed some air, and my dumbass looking at it fired. We used to do that in shop class. We had a machine to test out the spark plugs, and you hook it up, and it would sit there and go, you know, and you'd see the electric, and we'd sit there and we'd touch the spark plug, and then touch each other, and it'd travel through the whole fucking room. There'd be a line of us just going, we used to do that in auto mechanics in high school. Yep, taking bullets apart. Yeah, I've done that, especially shotgun rounds because they have a lot more gunpowder in them. We used to make tree bombs out of them. You get a bottle, like a Mountain Dew bottle, and you'd either crack open shotgun shells or you crack open firecrackers. Pour all the explosive powder, the gunpowder in, and you fill the bottle up with all that powder all the way. Nice, 20 ounce or whatever. And then you put the lid on it real tight, and then you'd take it out to the tree, and you put it up on a tree, and you duct tape it around the tree, and then you duct tape it first, sorry. You duct tape all around it to create a pressure, and it only had one opening, and you face that at the back of the tree. And then it had the fuse. You put the fuse in the bottom of it. And then you duct tape it to a tree, and it was like this compact fucking bottle with gunpowder in it, and you light the fuse and run. And the fucking thing went kabam! It would just fucking blow up and take half that fucking tree trunk with it. Like, tree would be sitting there with this big fucking moon-shaped hole in it. And one time it just fucking fucking blew a tree down with it. Glory bombs, yep, that's another name they're called. For the love of Yog-Sothoth. And the one time I play R6 Siege and I miss a shit ton of the stream. Thanks, Obama. Reverend Satan. What's up, Satan? How you doing, man? Satan! Yeah. We used to do all kinds of... Like I said, you grew up in the South, you're fucking bored, man. We used to shoot watermelons and... water balloons filled with like different colored water, so we see all the pretty fucking exploding water go everywhere when you blow it away. I did that one time. My friend bought a gun at a gun show, and it was a Russian Mosin Nagant. Fucking World War II gun, had a bayonet, and fucking massive rounds, and we bought incendiary rounds for it. They make incendiary rounds for it. So we took it out to where we lived, where we all shared a house together back in those days. And we set up a coffee can, filled it with water so it just wouldn't rock off the rock, And we went back, like 50 feet. We weren't even very far away. And we set it up on the rock, and there's a forest behind it. And we lined it up. And this one time, man, my buddy, man, I want to shoot it first. He fucking put it down. He locked the butt of the gun against his arm. He didn't realize how bad it would kick, but lucky he didn't break his fucking collarbone. He fired that some bitch, and the bullet didn't hit that coffee can, but the little fucking tree about that big around with the trunk of that big around behind it went. That stuff on my skin makes me spasm and twitch. I don't know what you're talking about, Melissa. Down here, cops ask if you have rocket launchers. We have potato guns. That kind of counts. I ran these kids off a road one time on purpose. I probably should have got arrested for that, but fuck them. They were in one of these little fucking racer fucking ricer pieces of shit with a big ass spoiler on it, but it was all fucking bondoed and fucking black primer, and I was driving home, and I was in my little Ford Ranger, and I had the window down because I didn't have AC. Yes, the same Ford Ranger that the owl attacked me in. And I'm driving with my window down, my arms out like this, and they come up this way, and I was at a stop sign, and I started to roll, and they came right by me and shot me with a paintball gun through the window. Hit me in the forehead with a paintball gun, and then drove off that way, really fast. I whipped my Ranger around and went after them, and they were in this little speedster racer, so I wouldn't catch them in Ford Ranger, so I took a side road, figured I might run into them again because I was pissed. I was angry. And sure enough, they fucking passed right in front of me just as I was coming. They come up to a stop sign, and then they started to go. And I saw them like turn and look, and I T-boned them on purpose with my truck. They're fucking little piece of shit, fucking street racer wannabe, fucking Fast and the Furious wannabe racer fucking car went off in the fucking ditch, and they all got out of the fucking car wanting to fight and shit. And I drove off in my truck. My truck had a dent on the bumper. It didn't even hurt my truck. And that took a while to heal. I had a fucking welt on my forehead from them hitting me with that paintball gun through the window for a fucking week. Like 2 weeks, actually. It was just a fucking huge welt. They hit me right in the forehead with a paintball through my window. I probably should have got arrested for this, but fuck him, Magog. Yeah, I used to love playing paintball. Don't get me wrong, but you want to expect getting hit, not get hit in your fucking truck while you're driving home after you picked up some fucking Little Caesars pizza, Yeah, I hunted their asses down on the backcountry roads, and fucking as soon as I saw them, I fucking reamed their asses. I fucked their car up. A little fiberglass piece of shit. Yep. And then after my friends found out about it, we got our car club out there on the streets looking for them. If they ever showed up to a street race, we would have kicked their fucking ass. Yep. Back when we started car clubs, man, it was like starting a gang or something, man. We had fucking 40, 50 fucking guys wanting to fucking join the club and shit. And we'd go out street racing, and we'd fix our cars up, put NOS in them, and turbos and fucking supercharged fucking V8s and stuff like that, They were all hoopties. My car club was called Section 8. And I think they're still really active. Section 8 chapter is still really active in Hawaii. But yeah, we were the local Arkansas Section 8 chapter. I was part of the low riding group, though. I had a 76 Monte Carlo with, And we were cruisers, not racers. Me and some of my friends. Some of my friends were both, and then there was the motorcycle gang after that. I'm sorry, motorcycle club, but I never joined that because I don't get on motorcycles. I like classic cars. I don't get on motorcycles. Um, I don't even know how to drive a motorcycle. It's one thing I don't know how to drive. You put me in a truck, school bus, fucking forklift. You could put me in a fucking semi. Fucking, you could put me in a car. You can have it be a fucking 5-speed, 3-speed on the tree. It doesn't matter. I'll drive it. But I can't drive a fucking motorcycle. I never learned. I never liked it. I'd rather drive muscle car, not a fucking 2-wheel death trap. So a lot of my friends joined the motorcycle club and got their cuts and and all that stuff. So I knew a lot of people in those clubs, but I never joined myself, so I never got a cut. They wouldn't let me join with a classic car. Funny enough, motorcycle clubs are funny about that. I wanted a cut though because I thought it was cool to have a patch, and everything. I even had a buddy earn his blood wings, right there on his cut. He had blood wings. You have to go down on a girl on her period, and the whole club has to watch too. So that, you get your blood wings. Why am I telling you guys this? Yeah, blood wings mean something different in the Air Force. It's when you fly and you finally earn your wings because you logged enough hours in the plane. And what you do is you put the pin on and you leave the pins off, and you put it on, and your whole crew comes by and punches you in the fucking wings, and it causes you to bleed underneath your uniform. So they kind of a dual meaning there, but that meant something different in my friend's motorcycle club. Hey, Ramug, how you doing, man? So, how long have I been doing this? Are you guys tired of hearing me fucking talk yet? Just got a hold of a 78 Fairmont, small block 302 50 Windsor. A 50 Windsor, obviously, if it's a 302. Wait a minute. Yeah, 302. Okay, yeah. And it has more horsepower than a hatchback should. Yeah, well, those little 50 liters, man, that's what they used to put in the Mustangs, in the 80s Mustangs. Those 50s are nice, man. And they're all small block. 50s are all small block. Now you get up into the, well, no, they're 351s. A 352 is a large block. 351 Windsor is a small block. And then the 302 is a small block as well. And I think that's what you said you had, 302 small block 50. Interchangeable parts. You could take a 351 parts off and put it on a 302 and vice versa. If you want it, it's just smaller heads or whatever. But 351 Windsor is what I had in my Crown Vic. No, in my Grand Marquis. It was a Mercury, but, Ford. So 351 Cleveland is what my friends had in both his 79 and 76 Thunderbird was a 351 Cleveland. That's a modified 400 big block. 351 Cleveland's a big block. And if you get, and he had it, his was the 351 modified 400. Yeah, race engine. Those 351s, you could soup them up pretty good, man. 4,000 for a P71, scaring the piss out of anyone who cut me off. Priceless. Yep. I have a mint 1972 Buick Riviera with a 454. Hell yeah. I had the 350 in my Monte Carlo. It was a small block, but it had 30,000 original miles. It was a 1976 Monte Carlo, baby blue, white vinyl interior, robin egg blue vinyl top, and still had the 8-track player in it. I love that fucking thing. I owned it for about 3 months, and a drunk driver hit me. Crippled it. Hit me right at the door jamb, too, so it twisted the fucking frame. There was no way to fix it. It twisted the chassis. So, good night, y'all. Thanks for the laughs and nightmares, says Paramomo. Have a good night. I missed that 76 Monte Carlo. Maybe I can get another one day, but I got a Ford 55 Rocket, kind the police drive. No, I'm kidding. Is it midnight? It is midnight. Shit. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going to have to go here soon. My analog clock worked as well as the 8-track. Yeah, mine did too. The 76 Monte Carlo had an analog clock in it as well. Yeah. A retired master sergeant out on the Air Force Base here, Little Rock Air Force Base, sold it to me for $4,000, I think. And I drove the hell out of that car until fucking drunk driver hit me. We just go and cruise in a car like that. It felt like driving on a cloud. Fucking thing was 15 feet long. Weighed 6,000 pounds. You know, they don't build them like they used to. Yep. Oh shit. Let me check the Streamlabs real quick. Make sure I got nothing. Yeah. Oh, Casey Beardman, again, a few more shekels for you. Thanks, Casey. Appreciate it, man. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I only got I've only got 80 people watching and just kind of chilling. Yeah, drunk drivers are stupid. He hit me in a Mercury Topaz, and he was going 70 on an access road. Speed limit was 30. Came right at me, and I swerved. I'd rather be in a ditch than get hit head on, and he hit me. I swerved this way, and he hit me. Glanced off the whole side of my car, tore the bumper off my car, and threw it 30 feet in the woods, and then went off the road after he hit me. I could at least drive my car away after that. It was creaking and moaning, but I could drive it. But his fucking car looked like can opener. Fucking went after it. Fucking 97 Mercury Topaz. He had no driver's license either. Suspended license. Wasn't even his car, and he was drunk. Just left the strip club. And he got taken to jail, and somebody posted his bond, and he disappeared. I showed up for court. He didn't. God knows where he is these days. Probably dead. I tried to make him pay for it, but he didn't have a license. He was an uninsured motorist. He had no insurance, no license. The car wasn't even his. So I went to sue him. I got an uninsured motorist from my insurance, and I got barely enough back to buy a little truck. And the Monte Carlo sat for a good year before I could sell it for parts because there was no fixing it. They would have had to find another Monte Carlo, cut it in half, and then cut mine in half, and then split the good parts together and weld them, and then it wouldn't even be as strong a car. So, yeah, that car was fucked. I basically sold it for its engine. I got $500 out of it, which at the time was a decent price for an engine. It's not like 76 Monte Carlos are like that. I mean, they're nice, classics, and especially if you can get them in decent shape, but it's not like they're that wanted. It's not like it was a fucking Barracuda or something, My cousin almost died to a drunk, no insurance, not their car. Pushed her car under a semi. If she had any passenger, they would have been dead. Yeah. Like I said, that 7,000-pound car saved my fucking life. If I was driving anything else, I would have died. He hit me right at my driver's side door. Pushed it in, and we felt a bump. But, man, that fucking beast of a solid steel fucking car saved my ass. No airbags. You don't need them. You're surrounded by solid steel. Good old American Detroit steel. Oh, a 64 and a half Mustang. First owner. She dropped the transmission in 96. Those half Mustangs are worth some money. Man. No, I don't know his name. I don't remember. Like I said, he didn't even have a driver's license. The cops never told me his name until we showed up for court and heard the judge call him. And that was so long ago. God, I was 19, I think. I'm 32 now, so that was a long time ago. I can't remember his name. He's probably dead anyway. Yeah, that was a beautiful car. I owned a lot of cars in my time, but that was one of my favorites. His name was fucking asshole. Damn Skippy. Not this one. It's been sitting for want of parts since '96. It's still worth a lot of money. People collectors of half Mustangs will pay you a good amount just for the fucking shell of a car like that. The half Mustangs were rare. I had a friend of mine who owned a body shop. I wouldn't call him a friend, more of acquaintance, but he worked on our cars. And he owned a body shop and he made good money. So one day he bought a 64 Mustang and it was 90% restored, like almost all original. There was just a few things missing off of it, and he paid 200 grand for it. It was a 64 and a half, if I remember right. He was one of those guys that would just buy cars, though. Like, he'd do crazy shit with cars. Like, he'd buy them sometimes to fix them up and resell them, repaint them, all that stuff at his body shop. He'd put money into them and then resell them at auction or whatever. But then he'd buy some just trash car and do some crazy shit with it. Like, he bought a Mazda one time, one of these little CR2s, little Mazda 2-seaters, and he put a 351 in it, small block. He had to like fucking cut the firewall out with his to fit the engine in. That little fucking car, yeah, it had racing slicks on it. It was so fucking light with a big fucking heavy ass fucking motor. You ever see a Mazda with a Ford engine in it with a blower sticking out the fucking top of it? That fucking car was a sleeper. If it didn't have the blower sticking out of the hood of it, you wouldn't be able to fucking tell. That fucking thing, man, you burn rubber, literally. You couldn't put any other fucking tires on it. And then he turned around and sell it for like $1,500. Somebody take it to the drag strip, That was not a street ready car. No. Yeah, I had a friend of mine had a 66 Mustang, but it just had the slant 6 in it. It didn't have the V8, but it was well taken care of, and he had that for a while now. Congrats on the car, man. Hope you're doing well this evening. Thank you, Jeremy. Yeah, I love my new car. Fucking 2018 Ford Fusion, man. Fucking awesome drive today. Coming back from school and shit. It was cool. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, you guys exhausted yet? It's been a good 2.5 hours. I doubt anybody's even going to watch it after it's uploaded. Nightmare says, love Magog on Streamlabs. Thank you, Nightmare. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, yeah, for anybody just joining, I've just been telling stories and talking shit. I read some Poe in the Poe voice. That was fun. I fucked up, though. Just got my can, so going to be doing videos soon with my new YouTube name. Congratulations, Gary. Got to make the joke. You know what Ford means? Found on redneck driveway. Usually people say found on road dead. Well, every time one of my friends who's more a Chevy or Dodge person says that, I sit there and go, yeah, but you drive a Chevy, you drive one of the best. You're driving a mile, you push it the rest. Cutlass. Yeah. That was my brother's first car back when he was a teenager. Learned how to drive. I think it was a 80s Cutlass. Fucked over rebuilt Dodge. You talking about random shit is still better than 95% of the streams out there. Well, I appreciate that. Well, at least with me talking to you guys, I'm by myself and I'm just kind of talking and trying to entertain you guys the best I can. But to me, it still beats some of the streams that are just 10 people yelling at each other, Don't get me wrong. I've been in streams like that and I still had a good time and everything, but they're just not as interesting to me when people can't even get a word in edgewise because there's always one or two people that are more dominant and they just talk over everybody else or something, you know. You know what Marine means? My ass rides in naval equipment. Yep, I've heard that one. I've also heard the one, you know, I always crack this with some of my Marine buddies. It's a sit there, call me chair force or whatever, and I'd go, you know what happened? You know what it sounds like when shit hits the fan? Marine. Oh yeah. It kind of reminds me of that thing somebody painted on the door of the shitter, one of the shit cans in fucking Iraq. I sat down, fucking take a shit, and I closed the fucking stall door, fucking sat down, and right on the back of the stall door while you're shitting, you're looking ahead, and it said, sit up straight, soldier, you're giving birth to an officer. Or no, sit at attention. That was it. Sit at attention, soldier. You're giving birth to an officer. Can we get one more like to make it 100? I didn't know I had that many likes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, 100 likes. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for liking my videos and subscribing and donating. It really does help out. The little extra money from the super chats and everything really does help out. I really appreciate it. You guys are going to help this show grow and become like something real special because, like I said, I mean, things are real slow right now because I'm in school. But man, when I get out of school this semester, I've got the whole summer. And next semester, if I stay in school, I'm only taking like one class a semester. I'm done with this full-time school bullshit. You know, it's kicking my fucking ass. And so I'm going to be able to pour a lot more time into the, you know, more live streams, more edited content too on the main channel. We're going to have tavern talks. We're going to have side quests. I'm going to bring back Magog and Medusa on Saturday nights. We're going to have my Friday night Beyond Magog streams like I'm doing tonight. You know, like fucking, it's going to be great. You guys are going to fucking love what I have planned once I have the time. And then once I buy the land, you know, once I find a good place and it has a home and I move, you know, might have to take a break from content while I'm moving because that takes some time. But once I get internet set up and the set rebuilt over there and, you know, and I start building stuff on that land, build the studio and all that stuff, y'all going to see all kinds of cool shit. You're going to see a great show. I'm going to work my ass off for you guys because you guys give me a lot on Streamlabs and Patreon and all that stuff, and I'm going to reward you with as much hard work as I possibly can give, man. I'm not going to be a lazy YouTuber at all. I'm gonna be putting out shows as much as possible. I'm going to make the shows bigger. They're going to have better graphics. I'm going to find a way to bring Rufus back, fully animated. You know, it's going to be gas, man. How many hours you been doing in school? I do 12 hours. Well, 12 credit hours. But the problem is all my classes are art classes. And so I have to be in every one of those art classes for like 3 hours a day. It's not like a normal 50-minute a day class or something. Like I'm done with all those. Like, yeah, I've got to do like 3-hour classes twice a day, every day, Monday through Friday. So, you know, that's it. It's like I'm gone all day and I'm only taking 2 classes that day. But it's because, and I have a lunch break in between, you know, so I'm at school from usually I get up around 7:15 and I'm out the door by 7:45 because traffic, and I got to drive an hour to my school because it's all on the other side of Little Rock. And then I get there at about just before 9 when my class starts, and I'm there until 4:30 in the afternoon. And then I have to fight traffic and drive an hour and 20 minutes back home. And then by the time I get home and I eat and I start my homework, I've got probably another 3-4 hours of homework because it's all art homework. It takes time. I've got to draw. I've got to design things on Illustrator and Photoshop and stuff in design. And so it's my whole day, every day of the week for the most part, except for Friday nights. I have homework tonight, but I decided to take a break and just stream with you guys. I'll do my homework tomorrow or Sunday. I'm going to do all my homework Sunday, the whole day, and spend tomorrow trying to get some content done, either Midnight Dreary, a Magog episode, or both, whatever I can get done tomorrow. So that's why I don't have any time. People ask me if I play video games or if I watch their videos they put up on their channel, or why I won't answer some of the stuff on Twitter, like DMs and stuff. It's not that I'm ignoring you guys. It's that I'm just too fucking busy. If I'm home, I'm doing homework or I'm writing an episode or something. Like I can't spare that much time. If I'm lucky, I get to watch a movie while I eat dinner and then I'm back to it. Sometimes I stay up till 2, 3 in the morning doing homework because it takes more than 4 hours. I power through, and it just is what it is. But as soon as I have the more time on my hands, so as soon as school is done and I no longer have homework and I no longer have to get up in the fucking morning and drive an hour to fucking school and all that stuff, I'm going to be getting up every morning like a job. I'm going to be getting up at 9 every morning and work until 5, 9 to 5, possibly even longer, and do an episode every day if I can, do live streams and everything. Like I'm going to work like it's a normal job, and then also stream in the evenings when, streams come around. So when do you even have time to stroke it, man? You poor bastard. I stroked it while I was talking to you guys. I had to compress it. I have to compress things, so I jerked it right here and there. You guys just didn't see it because I'm pretty subtle with it. So, but yeah, I realize that I make more money on Patreon and stuff than most smaller channels, and I'm very grateful for that. I think people really love what I do, and that's why. But if it wasn't for that, I probably would have to, at least give up this and make it part-time, because so you guys are keeping me afloat for sure. I haven't quite made enough to say that I can live off of it, because as soon as school's done, my GI Bill's done, and I'll no longer get money for school to go to school. Like that's my job. So come summer, I might have to get a job, but I make enough that if I do get a job, at least I can say it'll be a part-time job, so I can still spend a lot of time doing this. So thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. It's fucking awesome that you guys are entertained by me enough to give me even just like $1 a month or send me super chats and stuff. Like it's really just a blessing to have such a wonderful audience. And like I said, I do want to do the Patreon streams and get people on. But like I said, time is of the essence, and I've got to plan those out too. Like tonight was actually kind of an improv stream. I only just decided like 20 minutes before starting the stream that maybe Fridays is when I should do this out of character streams. And maybe now that I've decided that Friday nights should be stream nights, maybe next Friday I'll post a link maybe Wednesday or something saying, hey, who wants to come on? On my Patreon, so I can start talking with my patrons and stuff live. I know that's a thing that I've said I've been wanting to do for a fucking year, and just school has been so overwhelming, but I definitely want to do it because I love talking to you guys. It's good times. It's fun. So you're my first and only channel that I give to monthly. Thanks, Charles. I appreciate that, man. I'm glad you like it that much, that I'm your first. I popped your cherry. I popped it hard, didn't I? Hard. Bag Fry says, you've got something great here. I wish I could Patreon more, and I hope others give. You vote with your dollars for what you want. Yes, thank you. And that is true. You vote, that's keeping us alive on this platform that seems to want to destroy us. So so I don't know why YouTube wants to be so fucking self-destructive, but that I'm not the boss of YouTube, Maglogs. Magog monologues. Yeah, well, I understand. You guys don't have to donate if you're out of the job or looking for work or whatever. You got to take care of you first, but I do appreciate it. Gary McIntosh gives $10. Doesn't say anything, but thank you so much, Gary. Appreciate it. Some more gold for my treasury, But I was talking to some people like that. That's why I want to do the art prints. Now, I know the art prints will be $100 a piece, but anybody who buys them will get an autographed and numbered art print. I'm only going to have 1,000 of them ever made, ever. Like, I'm going to retire that artwork. I'll probably sell the original too, or give it away as a gift to, like in a giveaway or something. But and it sounds like a lot of money, like $100 for an art print, but it's not just the art print. You'll be buying it with the knowledge that that $100 is going into the show. I'm not going to spend that money on my real life. I'm not going to spend that money on a bill. I'm going to put that money into a bank account that is going to be specifically for the production of the sitcom and the building of the medieval village. So when I do those, it's $100, but it's $100. You get something unique in the mail, an art print that I designed, that I drew, that I painted, and it's signed by me by hand. I'm not going to include the signature with the print. It's going to be signed and numbered by hand. And if I can sell all 1,000 of those, that would be enough money to get the show fully started in a grand way. It sounds like a lot of money, but a lot of people, I know that a lot of people find it tough and that they don't have jobs, but there's also a lot of people out there that are just fine, and they'll spend $100 on a Friday night. If you guys could just stay home one Friday night and give me $100, you get a cool art print, numbered and signed, autographed by me, and your money would be going to a huge show. You wouldn't have to give monthly. If you could just buy like one art print, it would just mean the world, because it could also, it's also in the future, because of that $100 donation, you're not only getting something really unique and fun in the mail that you can hang on your wall, that you can show people, that you could possibly sell on eBay in the future for thousands of dollars when I become rich and famous. But your money will literally go to the production of a show that you will come to enjoy in the future over and over again, and that is, to me, better than just like starting a Kickstarter and people are just giving money in the hopes that I make it happen. At least if it falls through, or the show isn't as good as people want, or maybe things just don't work out that way, you'll always have that art print, and I won't print anymore. After I do that 1,000, that's it. There's only going to be 1,000 in existence, So I'm hoping that out of the 25,000 people that have subscribed to me, there's 1,000 people out there that would be willing to give me $100 once. Not every month, not every 6 months, once. And get something fantastic in the mail and help make the sitcom come to life. And that's my hope. And I'm glad I got to finally tell y'all about that, because I also don't feel good just asking for money. I want you guys to have something in return that's physical, not just a t-shirt or a coffee mug or a thank you at the end credits of the sitcom when it comes to fruition. I want you to have something really special. And that's why I'm not going to do it more than once. And it's going to be 1,000 art prints, and that's it. Will you make a video that showcases all the art pieces as a marketing tool? Yes, of course I will. I want to be able to put it out there to my whole audience. I'll probably sell it on Etsy, because Etsy is a safe way to go ahead and collect personal information and get addresses and all that stuff locked through their system. And so I'll probably sell them on Etsy and put the link in the description of the videos and let people just go over to Etsy, and you can buy it right then and there. Shipping and handling will be on the buyer too, because I can't afford to cover the shipping and handling costs up front. But worst case scenario, because it's an art print, it's not like it's weighs 10 pounds, in a worst case scenario, if you live in like Australia or something, your shipping cost will be like $12, but you'll go ahead and purchase it and pay shipping and handling and put in your address, and Etsy will send me the invoice, and I'll be able to print it out, put it on the package, roll up the artwork, sign it, number it, and put it in a tube and mail it to you, so, and then collect the money and put that into a special savings account under the business name for production only. I'm not going to use it to buy a car. I'm not going to use it to pay off my Ford. I'm going to use it to build the studio, to buy better cameras, to buy better equipment, to build the village, to hire some actors, to help out. And even with that amount of money, even if I sold all 1,000 prints at $100 a piece, that's $100 grand, but it'll all be gone pretty quick. because you look into the prices of all that stuff to do this type of show and to hire the right people to help out edit it and add CGI effects and stuff, because I want to have the first season of the episode with Magog facing off with Rufus or something, So I'm gonna probably hire, temporarily contract out a 3D designer that can create the dragon in 3D and put him in the footage and everything for me. And that's why I'm kind of telling you guys about it now, because I can't do this until I'm out of school. I have no time to sit down and paint the picture that I want to paint. It takes a long time because it's probably going to be a pen and ink wash mix, and I'm going to do it with stippling. And I don't know if you guys know what stippling is, but it's the dots. So I have to sit here for hours and shade. Like if I have Magog and his robes are flowing and he's standing on the edge of a cliff and there's a castle in the distance and all these trees and he's casting a spell or holding his staff and he's overlooking the great kingdom of Morscar, and then I'll pen the seal of Magog up in the corner. That's going to take hours, days, because I'll have to sit there one dot at a time. I want you guys to see the work I put into it. I'm not just going to do something real quick on coloring book paper and then make prints of it and sell them for $100. It's going to be a professional pen and ink, and it'll have to do with the realm of Morscar and Magog. He'll probably be there with Poe on his shoulder, just epic, looking out in the sky, and I'm going to sit there and stipple it. And then once it's all stippled, I'll probably wash it so that it gets a nice kind of gradient for the clouds and stuff. Merc says, I'm down. Make it happen. Thank you. T and Ranger, I like this idea. I won't be able to buy one, but I like the idea. Sure you can. I'm telling you guys early enough that maybe you can prepare. Start putting $10 in a jar for the next, 5 or 6 months. You put $10 in a jar, and before you know it, you got $100 in that jar for the Magog print. And by the time I do them and make the prints and have them up for sale, you'll probably have $100 in the jar. You put $10 in it a fucking month, Can you buy 2? Of course you can. You can buy as many as you want. But that's the plan to raise the money for the show. Like I said, it'll come with a certificate of authenticity too. I'm gonna hand create certificate of authenticities and print those out, signed by me and my power of attorney. So you guys know I'm not just printing something bullshit off and signing it saying, hey, and then it'll be autographed one at a time by me. 1 out of 1,000, 2 out of 1,000, 3 out of 1,000, number 4 out of 1,000. And the original, I'll probably do a giveaway or something, some lucky fan out there, because that's kind of what you do. You sell the prints to raise the money because it's for the show. But the original, you don't just auction it off and hope to get like $5,000. What you do with the original is you give everybody a chance. Give everybody a chance to play. Yeah, 3.5-hour stream. I didn't realize it was so long. I mean, it's gone by so fast. How did you make the transition from your military career in Iraq to being an artist and necromancer in the land of Morscar? That is quite a transition. Yeah, it was. Well, I've been an artist all my life. The military was a stepping stone, so it wasn't that hard of a transition back to civilian life. I just had to find a damn job and live with my parents for a little while because I wasn't expecting to get kicked out of the military. Not kicked out. I got med boarded, medical, honorable discharge. And got nice medals pinned on me and all that stuff for all the stuff I did and convoys and everything. I got my combat action medal and, all that stuff. So, and then they say goodbye. Thanks for serving, and go to the VA. Go be a disabled vet. So, can you afford Stan Winston's studio? They could do Rufus. No, I don't think I can afford Stan Winston, man. Those guys do some hardcore work. But I'm really relying on the fans, not just for donations. I want to hear you guys' thoughts. I want to hear your ideas. I want you guys to, You'll be like, oh, I want to use fans episode ideas. I want you guys to message me on Twitter or at me at Twitter and be like, hey, it'd be a great idea if Magog got in a love triangle, or what if Magog, would it be funny to see Magog, out on a treasure hunt and it turns out the treasure is bullshit, or, come up with some fun ideas. I want you guys to get involved. And if I use one of your ideas, you'll get credited in that episode of the show. And eventually, I want to make it to where people can come out to the actual studio location where the village is built and everything and be a part of the background of the show. Let my Magogonites fill in people who are good at making props. If you guys want to make props for my show just once in a while, it doesn't have to be all the time, but you feel like, fuck, that guy who made me that knife, I'll use that in the damn show, you guys want to make clothing or costumes or something and send them to me. I'll be getting a P.O. box when I move. And like I said before earlier in the stream, if you have something now that you really want to send me and you're one of my Magogonites, just DM me. I'll get around to answering all my DMs eventually, but I will eventually contact you and be like, hey, yeah, I saw your message. I'll give you my personal address. I just don't want to put my personal address out there for the whole world to see. I'll trust you guys that you're not going to dox me. Plus, I don't plan on being at this location for very long anyway. So I plan on moving this year. So, if you guys really want to send me something and you just can't wait for me to move and get a PO box, message me. Because everything you send me isn't just something that it's like, oh, cool, a fan sent this to me. It's going to be used in the show. If it's a proper prop. Now you send me a dildo in the mail, I'm going to be like, hey, a dildo. Good gag, guys. Like I don't already have 100 of these. What? I mean, shut up. So yeah, like that. I don't want this to just be like some grassroots sitcom that has a bunch of people watching and becomes kind of fun for people to watch. I want it to be a grassroots sitcom that the fans are involved in making too. I'd love to be able to say that the show is a success, but it's also the success because Magogonites flew out to Arkansas for a week and helped film and helped be like a background character or a side character or some bandit that gets killed by Magog or, some crazy guy who wanders into the village, it depends on your acting skills. But I want to be able to tell people that. I want to be able to have, like girls with big boobs can come out and dress as tavern maids and serve beer during the scenes at the tavern and fucking have like some chicks playing some elven assassins, or they got like the skimpy little elven fucking armor on and they got wicked swords and little pointed ears. And Magog's like, you fucking bitches, get off of right. I want everybody to be able to say, I'm part of Magog's world. I'm a Morskarian, and I think that's so much better than just producing something and then putting it out on Netflix for millions of people to watch. As much as I love shows like The Punisher and things like that, there's still kind of a missing element of that kind of interaction between the fans. They just get to enjoy it and binge watch it and then wait for the next one because that's how Hollywood does it. And that's how all these big studios do it. But even if I had millions of dollars coming in and had a huge production studio built and had a huge lot with security and all that stuff and actors that I actually paid actual money to be on the show, I'd still open up the doors to hundreds of fans to come out and be background people. Or be people that in the battle scene, have like 100 people running at each other, 1,000 people running at each other with armor on, fucking action, and the end credits of each episode will be like, thank you to all the Magogonites who helped, and it'll have your names, and that's what I want, man. I want it to be a show built by the community of my fans, the Morskarians, the Magogonites. Sorry, I went off on a tangent there and missed probably all your musicians. Yeah, definitely need original songs for the show, original theme music, original background music to play during like dramatic moments or funny moments, or like it. I want it to all be kind of done by the by the fans and the creators. Now, obviously, it's my show. I'll still have to, you know, I still have to do it kind of my way in many ways. But I love input and I love critique, and I think that's how you keep a good show going is by listening to your fans. You don't cut them out. You don't sit there and go, "We're going to do the show our way 100%." You still have to in certain ways because it's your creation, but people who stop listening to the fans end up making crap eventually. I mean, look at Ghostbusters 2016 or, like those video games that make you buy loot boxes in order to play and shit like that. They never listen to their fans. But then you'll have game creators like the creators of Project Red something that made Witcher. They listened to the fans. They offered all their DLCs for free. They don't bug you with all kinds of in-game buy-ins and stuff like that. They made a great fucking game, and they got the fans involved, and they listened to their people, and they put out a great product, If Hollywood wasn't so stuck in a mode of brainwashing people to radical leftism, they wouldn't have so many issues with creativity, right? Amen, brother. Damn Skippy Code Connection. Thanks, I for your guests. Thanks for shilling my Streamlabs out. I appreciate it. CD Project Red, or CD Red Project. Thank you. But that's what I want. I don't want it to be. I would love that. I would love to take 3 months out of the year to film all the episodes for that year and have all the fans come in that are going to be background people, key people, and all that stuff. And then we'll shoot for 3 months or for however long you're there. If you can only make it down for a week and only be in a couple episodes, that's fine. And then we'll, at the end of every week of shooting, we'll throw a fucking huge barbecue, man, on the property. We'll sit at the fucking medieval village at the mead hall and fucking drink and eat and laugh and be merry, and really feel like you're part of something other than just watching something, Why isn't that being done? Why hasn't anybody else thought of this before me? It's not just about having a YouTube channel and making as many shekels as you can before they shut you down. It's about making friends and creating a family, Something that's going to last the ages, not just be watched for a week and then forgotten, Rain Deku is here. Apologies for being late. Don't apologize. You get here when you get here, man. Screw Off asks, where should we send ideas? My DMs on Twitter are open. I can't get to them every day, so if you don't hear from me right away, don't discourage, but you can just message me. I'll see them in the request tab. And you can at me on Twitter and I can read them and write them down or whatever, but it's better if you leave them in a message so that I can go back to them, and if I have any questions or I really like your idea, I'll let you know and be like, hey, Wild Mundane Mad appears. We're talking about stuff, man. We're talking about the show. We're talking about building something bigger than ourselves. We're talking about creating something real special that the fans can be involved in, that they can come and be like background characters and help build props for the show and everything like that they can be involved in, and they can be in the credits and they can be in the film itself and really make it something special, And strippers. Yes, Rev, strippers. What are you up to, Matt? How you doing tonight, buddy? Chilling in a car again, or are you finally at home? Yeah, I just really love that idea of people being able to come down. People are sitting here. I'd happily come down to Arkansas. Reverend Satan says, help out. Even if it's little things, it's like, oh, all I have is a prop. All I have is these like little crystals that I made. These little crystals, they'll look good on a shelf in the background. It's there. If you send me something, your name's going in the credits somewhere. Prop donator. Or something like that. And then eventually we just get to the point where we're doing a show that everybody loves to be a part of. that the fans get to be kind of part of. And, it's one of those things where it's like, can you imagine just being like, maybe you're not a YouTube creator, maybe you're not even an actor, but you got to be a part of something for like a week. You flew down to Arkansas, you came to the studio, and you put on a medieval costume and you drank beer in the background, or you got slaughtered by some orcs. You were one of the innocent bystanders of an orc attack or something, and you can always go back to that with your kids or with your family and be like, that's me right there in that episode, right there. Look at me dying on screen, screaming. you know, you know, that to me is that's better than just like having a YouTuber you love and support. That it's forever, it's eternal, it's it's out there. I die from female orc, hee hee. Dying person number 4, Rev Mindbender. Do you check email too, or just Twitter? I drink and smoke and can't risk the cancer of Twitter, so I don't have an account. Yeah, I have my email, my Proton mail, my dear Magog. That's in the description as well, I think. If not, it's on my Twitter main page. There's a big picture that shows it, and I haven't. I don't check it all the time because, like I said, I've got too much stuff. But if you send it to me, I'll eventually get around to it. Like I said, right now school's just a pain in the fucking dick. But 2 months, 2 months, and I'll be able to really catch up on everything. I'm going to try to catch up even more, but as it comes in, especially after this stream, now that I've announced that I'd love to start taking ideas from the fans and hearing from you guys and seeing what you guys can offer as part of the show and stuff. I'm going to make a whole document, and whoever donates this or whoever sends me this or whoever has this idea, I'll have a list so that I know to put you in the credits if we use it. And I'm going to start keeping records of all my Magogonites that want to help out in that way and have some fun, seeing your name at the end credits while the song plays and stuff. If you're a musician, if you want to do a song to help promote it, to play during to do like I could do a fake, not fake, it'd be real, but do like a music video with Magog, like fucking in the background, sitting on a throne, fucking music's playing, and show bits and scenes of the show and throw it out on our YouTube to promote it. And that's your music. You'll be credited in that. And, like, it doesn't matter what you're good at. If you want to just write a medieval sounding cool song that you think I might like, send it to me. You don't have to sit there and actually work for me. I can't afford to pay everybody, but this is about building something off of the hard work of thousands of people, hopefully, that want to just donate little by little things, have a wench that suffocates people with her boobs, then steals their valuables. The pitching witch with all the Oscar-winning ideas over here. I'm currently working on multiple carvings, my own design. I use some common stuff, and I do wood turning to about 8 inches around, be it small bowl or something. That'd be cool. You want to send me a set of wooden bowls that look like they belong in a medieval world? Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. They'll go somewhere on the sets. These sets are going to be hand built, and then we have to fill the sets too, so they have life. They have plants, and they have potions on the shelves, and bags of potatoes sitting in the corner, and it's gonna like, that's one of the things I loved about Skyrim was all the little details. You walk into a place and there's shit on the tables, and there's candlesticks, and there's like fucking spider webs up in the corner and stuff. It was so cool. It was a huge inspiration. Why can't somebody do a show like that isn't Hollywood? Why not? Make a hearth stove. Yeah, definitely. I'd love the mead hall to have like one of those long hearths down the center of it that you could just light a big fire in, like cook a whole pig on, and there's like a gap in the ceiling to let the smoke out. That'd be awesome. And eventually, if it gets watched enough, and like I get like 1 million viewers for the sitcom, and people really love it, and it's become an internet sensation, and maybe I have enough money in that I can build the castle, because I don't want it to just be a set piece or a digital thing that I add later to the film. I'd love to build an actual castle that all my Magogonites can come out and, like, we're filming this week at the castle. It's all the castle scenes. And so I need guards, I need peasants, I need noble ladies and lords to walk around in the courtroom and be background people, and it be a real castle, like no electricity. And stuff like that. I mean, I'll have minor electricity because we have to plug in our equipment and all that stuff. Don't want to use generators, they make a lot of noise, but you get what I'm saying. It'll be like an actual castle. And then people, if you're a fucking Magogonite, you want to get married on the land and get married at the castle and fucking have Magog sit over and observe your wedding sitting on his throne, and get Beard Barian to marry you. I'll make sure he gets ordained. He can wear his fur armor with a little fucking collar. We are gathered here today, my savage manly men and ladies. And Magog can just be up on his throne, just sitting there like this. Get on with it. We have drinking to do and drugs. Do you have images or descriptions of the Morse guard gods? I do pyrography and could make images on wood like personal idols, Renaissance style. That would be really cool. That would really be cool. I have descriptions of some of the gods, but I haven't fully thought out what they look like, because they're really kind of gods. So there's statues of them, but I never really thought 100%. I do know that if I gave you descriptions, you'd probably be able to work out kind of and use your own kind of artistic license. Make it a medieval Renaissance festival to make money in the off season. That's a possibility too. Host weddings or Ren fairs or something, or LARP events on the land. Charles Fowler, Magog would do with the English did and bless the marriage. Yes. This union is blessed by the great necromancer of Moscow, the one and the only great Magog. The power invested to me by me, this union is blessed. Now get out of here and get drunk and fuck each other. Happy honeymoon. As long as we get to do the medieval tradition where me and a few of the other chosen lords get to watch the to make sure the consummation of the marriage is carried forth. Thank you for the fun chat. Check your live streams. Have a good night. Frank Johnson, thank you so much, man. Let me go check that. Yeah, I didn't check that in a minute. Asriel, I'm guessing that's him. Don't stop doing what you're doing. Love your work in these dark times. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know if Matt's still watching, but I was talking earlier about all the shit that's been going on with YouTube. People were asking what I thought about the YouTube union and all that stuff. That'd be an interesting conversation to have at another time. I've already been going for quite a while. I think he means blessing the marriage like the Dick English did in the beginning of Braveheart. Yeah, that was what was that called? That actually had a name. It was called Prima something. Prima Nocta? Was it Prima Nocta? I think it was Prima Nocta, where like the English lords had the right to sleep with your fucking wife on your wedding night first. Yep, there it is. Yep. Tancred indoors for the win. Prima Nocta. Monday, Matt. The union is a weird idea. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier, man. I don't know if it's going to work. I really don't. I mean, the amount of creators you would have to even affect any kind of change like that and stop putting up content and protest or whatever and go on strike. It'd just be mind boggling. And I don't think people want to do that. They don't want to give up their money. They don't want to give up putting up content every day and stuff. Because I really don't think YouTube gives a fuck about us all that much. I don't think they care that a few people in the counterculture movement or the political satire movement or the social, whatever you want to call it, skeptic community or whatever. I don't think they give a fuck if we give up, because they have literally millions of other users that just put up bullshit all the time that gets watched by the masses. I don't think they fucking care. I heard that still happens in places like Saudi Arabia. Probably. Wouldn't fucking doubt it. Need to teach Magog how to use Discord. I think I'll learn it eventually. I have a Discord. I use it mostly to answer personal fucking messages. So. Yeah, they're going to narrow down like A-listers and stuff. It's, yeah. Minimal alchemical skills. Senpai noticed me. Of course I did. Like an actual honest to Satan stone castle. Yeah. We got a couple here too. Rich people build shit like that on the lake or whatever. MCNs are going to start dropping everyone but the top tier. Yeah, that's probably fucking true. That's another reason why I'm worried about my channel and whether or not I can even make all this stuff I've been talking about for the past hour come true. Because what happens if I have all these plans and I raise the money and I buy the land and I build the sets in the studio and then all of a sudden I turn around and my channel's gone, And what am I going to do? Des says, all right, I have to bail and go to the shops. Might see you when I get back if you're still on. Thanks for the fun time, Magog. Have fun, everyone. See you next time. Bye, Des. Man, I'm big time worried. I mean, yeah, I'll still go to BitChute. I'm not going to give up completely, but to start out on another platform and try to gain as many subs as I have now and watchers and stuff, I know you wonderful people will follow me over, but is it enough? I don't know, I wish I had the money to start my own alternative YouTube. I swear to God, Anyway, I'm gonna burn this last one, and then I'm gonna get. It's already 1 a.m. I've streamed a lot longer than I really intended to. I was telling some good stories and stuff. Nobody's probably gonna watch this fucking thing. It's so long, but yeah. But, I mean, yeah, I'm backing it all up on BitChute. I just started a BitChute, but I do also have hard copies of, I can re-upload all my old episodes if they shut me down. But yeah, I'm really worried about the state of internet creators right now. Like, it's not looking good for us. You smoke like an E7 medic. Only when I'm doing this, man. It's like I'm talking, I'm socializing, I burn through them. I fucking smoke like a hardcore. Like when I'm sitting here doing homework or whatever I'm doing all by myself, I don't smoke all that much. Man, I get on a live stream and start talking with people and just talking and whatever. It's just like it's a social thing for me. I really do need to quit. Just subbed on BitChute. Thank you. Yeah, I keep forgetting to add BitChute to my links. I haven't gotten used to it yet. I literally have only had it for a week. So I'll start doing that starting with the newest episodes. I'll start putting the BitChute up. Anyone notice we haven't had a bot attack in a long time? They eventually go away. They really do. And I put slow mode on and set it to 10 seconds just so we could catch them and stuff so it's not going too fast, That's why I put slow mode on. I learned from that one stream where it was just like, just fucking bot attack, dude. It was going so fast, people couldn't ban them, So I put the slow mode on. I tried vaping. Vaping just makes me want to smoke again. Must be the Russians. Damn skippy fucking Russians. So anyway, while I'm smoking this last cigarette, does anybody have anything else? Any questions or Did you guys enjoy me just fucking spouting shit for 3 hours straight? Yeah, that's always tough when the video's back up on a hard drive, but then the hard drive breaks, man. But I have it on multiple hard drives. I have multiple backups of my backups. I have backups of my backups of my backups. So, yeah, looks like people enjoyed it. I appreciate it. I appreciate you all watching and the donators tonight, the super chatters. I'll go ahead and check Streamlabs one last time. See what's what over there. See if there's anything comes in. Nope, that's that. I hope I got all the super chats too. Would you be interested in a ballista? If I have a place for a ballista, absolutely. I don't have. Don't be sending me a ballista right now. You know, I ain't gonna know where am I gonna put it in the parking lot of my apartment complex. Great stream. One last shill. Thanks, I for your guests. Always helping brother out. That's why I gave you a wrench. But yeah, yeah, I could open a medieval times type fair, but that's not what I want to do. I would be willing to do that in the off season when I'm not shooting, but the primary goal of my life has been what has consumed me has been my passion for entertaining people and finally getting I don't like making a living off of being creative, making money off of my creative side. And I just can't get enough of just entertaining people. I've just turned into a whole other person since I started YouTube. I never was this outgoing. I mean, I am in public places. I go to a party. I'm the life of a party, jokes and stuff. But I never thought I'd be popular. I never thought I'd have literally thousands of people, loving what I do and what I talk about and stuff. And so it's opened up this new doorway in my mind that I could bring a whole new kind of happiness to the world if I just work really hard at it. I know I'm not going to sleep for the next 5 years, but it's exciting. It just makes my dick hard. I don't want to give up, and I don't want to get shut down. I don't want to get my channel taken away because I want to do this. I want to do this forever if I can, or at least until I'm a billionaire, and then I can just, pay somebody else to be Magog. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting closer every day. I know there's kind of a delay because of school, but every day I'm like just inching a little closer to doing this wonderful thing that nobody's really ever thought of doing. A grassroots sitcom that involves the fans too. Who the fuck thinks of that? It can be done though. I know it can be with just a little more support, people sharing my videos, people mirroring my videos. I don't care if y'all do that, by the way, as long as you're not, making, like setting them to, even if you monetize them, I don't think I would care. Cause I mean, not like monetization gives us much money anyway, but as long as you put on, credit me properly, like this is not my content, this is Magog and Morskar, and have my channel link and stuff. I mean, share it out there to the Twitter sphere and then the fucking Facebooks and all that stuff. I mean, the more exposure I get, the more audience I get, the more donators I get, even if it's just $1 a month, 4 quarters. We can do this. We can make a wonderful thing. We can build an empire on Morskar on a fantasy realm that doesn't exist. Build a website and start a mailing list and promote that instead of just your channel. I've thought about that, and I've thought about doing a website to offer the sitcom through instead of YouTube so that you get exclusive content, the sitcom on the website, and to raise money, make it like $2 a month to watch the episode, like the whole season. Like you pay $2 a month and you get Magog, the actual sitcom, 30-minute shows and and all that stuff. And that would help, keep the production because I can, the art prints thing is to raise the initial production costs, but after that, I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to do that every time I need, money. I'm going to have some sort of sustainability, either through ads or more donations or whatever. And I figured, you know, $2 a month will be nothing for people to pay for a good show. You know, even if bought the print for $100, you know, what I'll probably do for the 1,000 people that buy the print, I'll give you your first year free on the website. You get the first year free of Magog sitcom. You get the first season for free. Then after that, it's $2. So it's 8 quarters a month, and you're done. It's $24 a year, and that's not bad for a really fun show that you love and that you're also a part of too, that you help build, and I'll have discounts and things too. Obviously, I don't want to just make this all about the money, but we have to keep the production money coming in or else we can't do the show continually. Even after I build all the sets and all that stuff, we still have to pay actors, we still have to do the work. I'll still have to have probably a full-time editor at least, because I can't do it all. That size show, I can't do it all myself. I can't be the talent, the playing Magog, the director, the writer, the video editor, and the graphics designer and all that stuff, and the website person. That I can't do it all, so yeah, I'm going to have to charge a little subscription fee or something. But if you're willing to give $5 on Patreon just to already have the stuff on YouTube, what's canceling that and just giving me $2 a month on the website? You know, who else would enjoy Magog, Beardy, and Monday Matt doing an MST 3K thing? I've thought about doing some stuff like that. We'll play around with some new ideas. So, anyway, thank you all so much. I keep going off on these ideas. I love these streams where I finally get to talk about the future and I don't get distracted. If I had somebody on to talk to, it probably wouldn't have gone this far. I would have just talked with them and we would have ended up doing fun stories and stuff. Don't get me wrong, but I really loved finally being able to speak out loud about the plans and the new developments and what we can do. So thank you all so much. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for listening to me for hours on end. Love you all. Keep on keeping on. Life's a garden, dig it, just like Joe Dirt says. And thanks for being Magogonites. You guys are great. Have a good night.